The Red Sox bring their juggernaut up the California coast to Oakland tonight to put this historic start up against the A's. The 16-2 Sox bidding for their 8th consecutive win. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight in Oakland. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside Johnny Gomes. Garen Austin will be joining us in just a couple of moments. And Johnny, the Red Sox are putting up this historic start without one of their best starting pitchers to date, although that ends tonight because he's starting tonight. The left-hander Drew Pomerantz is on the bump.
Yes, Drew Pomerantz, a.k.a. Big Smooth. And what you're going to get out of him is that overhand fastball, tall, straight back leg, and also the spiked curveball, which he can get a lot of swing and misses from the Oakland Athletics, as did Ohtani get against Athletics.
Well, we talk about him going back to last May, and it was right here in Oakland where Pomerantz turned around his entire season and got into it a little bit with John Farrell because he was struggling. He was throwing a lot of pitches that day. The Red Sox had just taken a lead after 4 innings, but John Farrell did not bring him back out. And Pomerantz said later that turned it all around for him.
Yeah, that could be it. A little glove spike right there. Starting to get in a groove. You see him striking out Rajay. Probably wanted to go back out there. John Farrell taking care of him. And also, this is where he pitched before, so he probably wanted to give it a little bit to his old team. John Farrell says no, takes him out of the game. Turns out, look at those numbers right after.
Yep, 14-3 from the 20th of May on with a 2.85 earned run average. And frankly, he was one of the most consistent pitchers in all of Major League Baseball after that date. So Alex Cora smartly deciding to get him back to work against the Oakland Athletics tonight here in the first of a 3-game series. When we come back, more on the way the Red Sox are just knocking the cover off the ball. And how about Mitch Moreland? He's back in the lineup tonight. Each of his last 3 games here at the Coliseum in Oakland, he's done that. He's gone yard. Red Sox and the A's are coming up. Website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. By Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By your local New England Ford dealers. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Pretty night here in Northern California. Red Sox taking on the Oakland A's for the first time this year. Sox coming in an amazing 16-2. After the sweep of the Angels. And here are a couple of facts about this historic start that are off the beaten path. The last 48 at-bats against the Sox bullpen, opponents are batting .063. And the Red Sox strikeout percentage when they come to bat, just 16.3%. So making great contact.
That's exactly it. And the interesting thing about the great contact is it's not weak contact. Staying off the ground, which means staying out of the double play with runners in scoring position, driving the ball in the gaps, and we did also see those 11 home runs.
11 in Anaheim. Here's a look at the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts in right field, hitting .391. Look what he did against L.A. Benintendi in left. Hanley is the DH with Mitch Moreland back at first base. He has been cooking. So has Rafael Devers. Eduardo Nunez at second. Jackie Bradley, the center fielder. Christian Vasquez catches, and Brock Holt is the 9-hitter at shortstop. Up against the right-hander Kendall Graveman. He is 0-3 with an ERA up near 10 coming into this one.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep the ball on the ground and miss some barrels. And behind him, we got at third base Chapman, probably the best player on their field. Simeon at shortstop. Jed Lowry, RBI leader at second base. Big, strong lefty Olsen at first base. Left to right, Pinder in left, Count in center, Piscotty in right. And again, there's Graven throwing to Lucroy.
Here are the umpires, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Brian Gorman behind the plate. Hunter Wendelstadt at first, Adrian Johnson at second, and Trip Gibson will make the decisions at third. And we're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compare2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. Weather very nice. Tends to get very chilly in the evening here in Oakland, but right now very comfortable, 60 degrees and clear skies. Mookie ready to hit, and Graveman's first one is in there for strike one, and we're underway. Mookie had a sensational series against the Angels, 7 for 13 with 4 home runs, and he scored 6 times.
Yeah, we'll see how they attack the Red Sox. Most importantly, how they attack Mookie. A win at this point is almost keeping him in the ballpark. And when you get him on base, he's that stolen base threat as well.
Look to hold up, but a swing and a miss. Fastball at 94. Graveman obviously has been very hittable with that 9.87 ERA. A ton of base runners against him, Johnny.
A ton of base runners. Walks. He's mixed in some hit by pitches, home runs. Really struggling against the left-handers.
On one bounce, Lowry has that and throws him out. That's Jed Lowry, former member of the Red Sox, who is off to a terrific start himself.
Yeah, he sure is. I mean, he's driving the bus for these guys, really saving them. Driving in 21 as of so far.
Andrew Benintendi.
So Benintendi will climb in. He went 2 for 8 with a home run against the Angels, who were in a state of shock over what the Red Sox did against them in that 3-game series.
Yeah, that was just that was an unbelievable performance from the Ohtani on the mound, at the plate like we were waiting for. Their bullpen, pretty much whole bullpen through multiple innings and had to. Kept Trout in the yard, kept them all in the yard. 1 home run, 3 games, 1 extra base hit, 3 games. Pretty impressive.
Yes, indeed. Red Sox outscored them 27-3.
It's almost unfair.
And that's a very good Angel team that the Red Sox took apart in their home stadium. And the Angels came in with a 7-game winning streak and the #1 offense in the American League, and the Red Sox just knocked them all over the place and shut them down. Cut on a miss by Benintendi, hitting .267, his first home run of the season last night.
Graven off to a good start right here, missing some barrels. Coming into tonight, lefties are hitting .467 off him so far. Actually escalated numbers on everything, but mostly lefties doing a lot of damage. Benintendi, 0 home runs. That swing right there puts him on the board, gives him 1. Kicks the season off with a homer in L.A. against the Angels right there, right over an old friend's head.
Said after the game he had grown weary of Brock Holt lording his home run over him, and that he didn't have one. He had the donut up there. Said it was time to put an end to that. Good-natured ribbing, but it's actually one of the things that the Red Sox talk about. I mean, there's a lot of competition, very friendly competition between the hitters, just like the pitchers, as that'll just miss outside.
Yeah, there's different competition. Some ball clubs, kind of like here in Oakland, the competition is the people in AAA coming up wanting to take your job. And when you got the friendly competition within your starting 9 and even the 25, really pushing each other, making hitting contagious.
3-2, got it by him. Pretty good giddy up on that two-seamer, 95 miles an hour for a strikeout for Graveman.
Yeah, looking good so far. This is actually just a true fastball, but you will see this 3/4 arm slot. And if you haven't faced him before, it's something you want to write down and take a peek at.
We talk about run differential with the Red Sox right now, plus 66. It's the 4th highest through 18 games for a Red Sox team in the modern era.
Modern era.
Up the middle, threw for a base hit. Semien went give it an effort there, but it'll be a base hit for Hanley, so he's on with a 2-out single.
2-out single. Can't imagine he was going for the no-hitter, but if he was, it's gone in the first. This is a nice swing right here. Maybe we can get into his toe tap, his new toe tap a little later, but that's it. Hard ground balls, hard contact, not staying up at the plate watching pitches, attacking strikes.
Mitch Moreland will check in at 343, a homer, 7 runs batted in. He's as locked in as any Red Sox hitter right now. He's hit safely in 7 in a row. Drove in 5 runs, going 4 for 8 against the Angels, and likes this ballpark. Runner goes. Here's the throw by Lucroy. The tag, and he's out. That'll be out number 3. That's all for the Red Sox here in the first inning. Started with Marcus Semien at shortstop. Steven Piscotty is in right field with Jed Lowry. Already 6 home runs. He's at second base. Chris Davis with excellent power, the DH. Matt Chapman, an outstanding defender at third base. Matt Olson, also a very good glove man at first base. Mark Canha in center with Chad Pinder in left field. And Jonathan Lucroy does the catching. He's new to the A's and batting in the 9th spot. Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi dealers. That is Drew Pomerantz last year, 17-6, a 332. And even more impressive, the Red Sox are 16-2. He won 17 last year, and he has yet to throw a pitch here in 2018. But here comes the first one. Of course, remember, he's got that great curveball.
Yes, he sure does. Great curveball. That curveball is going to be a spike curveball. It's going to pop out of his hand. Can get it for a strike. Can bounce it on the plate for the swing and miss. Elevate change with that high fastball right there.
Semien hitting 253 with a homer and 11 runs batted in. Can you duplicate that
Sure.
grip?
Let's get it on right here. So normally a standard curveball, you know, you want to put your fingers together right here, and it's going to go with the pop this way. Sliders this way, curveballs this way. But he's going to take his finger and spike it. And there it is, folks. So you see my spike right here, Wakefield Nuck right here. Now it's just one, and he's going to go right over it to create max spin. Here's a closer look at him, and look at him doing it with the left hand right there. You see that spike right there? Spike curveball.
Little dribbler, a lot of spin on it. Moreland will take it, going to the bag. He lunges and he got it. Made a fine play for out number one.
Fine play from the Gold Glover, Mitch Moreland, right there.
I mean, throwing that pitch actually looks uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Sure, sure. And to have that, obviously, big hands is really important for that. Hence the nickname Big Smooth.
So one man gone, and Stephen Piscotty hitting .299 with a home run will climb in. He was traded by the Cardinals to the A's last year, so he could be close to his mom, Gretchen, who is battling ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Been living at his parents' home in nearby Pleasanton after the trade. I thought a very classy move by the St. Louis Cardinals. They had signed him to a long-term contract, about $33 million. They had made some roster decisions, but a big part of it was to get him back to the Bay Area so he could take care of his mom.
Yeah, very classy move, but obviously a lot has to go in play right there. You can't just move ball players around. Got to talk about taking the contract, talk about freeing up a position in right field. At the end of the day, feel-good story, but the guy's a great player as well.
Yep. Piscotty said sometimes there are things more important than baseball. Mom comes to the games, in fact. There is no cure for ALS, unfortunately. Jed Lowry on deck. Oakland coming in at 9-10, but they just swept the White Sox here at the Coliseum. Drops that in for a called strike.
Yeah, Drew Pomerantz coming out throwing strikes to the leadoff guy. Comes here, falls behind 3-0. Grooves one in there right there to get back in the count without losing him. Sure, he's going to have some touch and feel throughout the game.
Strike two. Piscotty thinking about tossing the bat.
Here's the pitch right here. I do have that as a strike. That's the elevated heater. You can look at Christian's mask. If you can get it on his mask, it's going to be a strike. I got it in the zone.
And the 3-2 from the left-hander. Drew coming back off the DL after suffering a mild flexor strain in his left forearm in spring training. He called it a very minor thing in the first place.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, a little alarming when you start talking about that forearm, which of course is connected to the elbow, which goes right into the Tommy John worries. Luckily, he's able to come back and have it as just a strain.
And the 3-2 again to Piscotty. Hard hit but foul. Pomerantz, a former Oakland Athletic himself in 2014 and 15. Last year was among baseball's most consistent pitchers. At one point, he went 14 consecutive starts without a loss between June 16 and the 28th of August.
Extremely tough to do. AL East.
Payoff pitch. And he walks him.
Let's take a look at the boys behind Drew. Is going to have to do some work looking for a double play right here. Of course, we're going to start at third base with Devers. Brock Holt again at shortstop. Nooney over there at second base. Mitch Moreland already making a great play. Left to right, Benintendi in left, JBJ in center, Mookie Betts in right. Drew on the mound, throwing to Vasquez.
Jed Lowry at 346, 6 homers, and leads the major leagues in RBIs with 21 already.
He also leads the major leagues in helmet. This is what you call a double ear flap helmet. And with Jed being a switch hitter, of course, you would have to switch your ear hole wherever it has it just on one side, and that'd be the side facing the pitcher. Now, not all switch hitters have the double ear flap, but he's the one going with it. Another double ear flapper, good friend Shane Victorino.
Jed on Tuesday night celebrated his 34th birthday with a home run here in Oakland. Last year, he set a franchise record for the A's with 49 doubles.
Oof.
He's always been a guy who could hit and could drive the ball. And he's gotten off to quick starts before. Nothing quite like this. And he'll take a ball to make it 1-1.
Yeah, he is notorious for getting off to a fast start. Has battled some injuries in his day. Jed Lowry, a Stanford grad, so possibly getting close to home, and his alum really gets him going.
Chris Davis, the DH, on deck. With Piscotty on at first base after taking ball 4. That one down the line. That's going to slice for the corner. And land on the grass, a fair ball. That's going to bring a run in. Betts has to chase it down, and it's another 2-base hit. One of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, Jed Lowry, to make it 1-0.
Jed Lowry, the second baseman for the Oakland Athletics, driving in his 22nd run as it stands after losing Piscotty on the walk. Shooting a double down the right field line. Hence he's swinging right-handed today, being a switch hitter. Drops it in, fair enough, scoring the guy from first. Piscotty running right here, coming home, no play at home. Good jump right here. Head gonna be down, picking up his third base coach, and he's gonna be sending him.
Piscotty powering home. Unusual sensation for the Red Sox. They're actually trailing.
We haven't seen that, witnessed that, nor have the Red Sox in quite a while.
4th double of the year for Lowry. Here's Davis. 273, 5 home runs, big time power. 43 home runs, 110 RBIs last year. And like a lot of the A's, a lot of swing and miss too. He punched out 195 times.
Since 2016, he has the most home runs in all of the major leagues. One ahead of Stanton, who's now a new New York Yankee. So since 2016, Davis has launched 90 home runs. Hiding out here in Oakland, but his power is not hiding anywhere.
On Tuesday night, celebrating their 50th anniversary in Oakland, the A's did not charge admission to the game. They call it free baseball night. They drew 46,028 fans, about 2,000 shy of capacity, but the atmosphere was very raucous, very lively, and they won that ball game and wound up sweeping that series.
There are some sports fans in the area. I tell you what, obviously the Oakland Raiders getting ready to leave, but a lot of Raider fans within walking distance from this ballpark. The Golden State Warriors is obviously going to sell out every night. Across the way, you got the San Francisco 49ers.
Shot down the line again, but this one slices foul.
Of course, up the road a little bit, you got the San Jose Sharks. You got all 4 major sports here, and Oakland Athletics seem to come up a little bit light on attendance. But I tell you what, if you win, they will come.
Yeah, typical Tuesday night would have drawn about 10,000 maybe. Maybe. So Lowry at second, 1-0 A's. Red Sox did not trail at all in the Angels series, not for a minute.
Chris Davis too, going with those throwback onesie socks, the old stirrups that he's rocking right there. It's like a young Ricky Henderson.
In fact, the field is named after number 24, the Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson. Who often spoke of himself in the third person. The 2-2 right past him, 89 miles an hour to strike out Davis, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, got him with the elevated heater right there. Got away with one, shooting it down the right field line. Hence that Jed Lowry got away with one. With that curveball in the back of your head, you want to tell yourself, see the ball up, see the ball up. And every once in a while, he can trick you with a high fastball. And right here, you see Vasquez coming up, going right for his mask, right by him.
Brings up the talented third baseman Matt Chapman, hitting .296. He's homered 5 times, so he has power as well, and he's an outstanding defender. And the A's believe he's going to make a run at the Gold Glove this year and could very well win a bunch of them. Soft hands. He has a terrific arm.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit of a while, but who he's replacing is Josh Donaldson, who has made a home up in Toronto and has gathered an MVP trophy, and is pretty much in the running for that every single year. So it's been a while since they've had a third baseman, Josh Donaldson being one that was here for a while, but I'm sure they're happy to have that position covered now.
And Donaldson was going through that period with Toronto, that dead arm period where he couldn't get the ball across the diamond practically.
Yeah, I think he's on the DL right now. I did see that there's no structural damage. I'm sure he's happy and Toronto's happy. Maybe not some of the other pitchers in the American League, but wish him the best.
Blue Jays have actually played well, however, without Donaldson. They've got 12-6 and leading the Yankees in the 9th inning, 8-5.
Yeah, they're giving the Yankees a run right now.
Lowry at second. There's the curveball fouled away.
There's that spike curveball right there coming in for a strike, which again is going to open up the elevated fastball. Drew does a real good job of that. He stays tall on that back leg. At times he can elevate it too much by not finishing his pitches. So if he's finishing his fastball, we're in good shape.
Looking to hold these A's to 1 run in the 1st inning. And a left-hander with a 1-2. Left it a little bit outside at 84.
84 is going to be that third pitch. It's kind of a cutter change, not too much movement, still true. If he gets it down, he'll have a little more depth. But again, just throwing another look at the A's hitters.
Matt Chapman in the box. Matt Olson at first base. Left-hand hitter is on deck. And a 2-2. Swung on and missed it. Gets away. It goes all the way to the backstop. Safe at first will be Chapman. Lowry down to third. So bad break for Pomerantz and for Vasquez, as Chapman will reach despite the K.
Yeah, that was a pitch right there. Vasquez, I'm sure one of the best defenders, wanted this one right here. And you see him go down with his glove instead of going down with his knees. And then what you're going to see right here, him chasing the ball. Can't find it for a little bit, but look at all this foul ground. Look at all this foul ground. There's a lot of landscape here that you got to cover.
So he's going to have to get an extra out here in the 1st inning.
Unique situation. Did give up a hit, did give up a run, but can strike out the side right here with it being his 3rd strikeout.
Olson 274. He's whacked 3 homers, driving in 9. The A's beat the White Sox on Wednesday in a 14-inning, almost 6-hour game. And he had the key hit. He won it with a walk-off RBI single. They took the game 12-11.
Yeah, and here's that hit right there to walk it off. James Shields had to come in because they ran out of bullpen arms. Never a good thing for that when you have to bring a starter into the game late in the game.
So the A's swept 1st and 3rd. In there for a strike.
Yeah, it comes right back, pounding the zone to get him in an 0-2 count. Oakland Athletics here. We obviously the movie The Moneyball and the sabermetrics that they were one of the first to buy into. Olson being a left-handed hitter going against a left-handed pitcher, it's pretty rare in an Oakland A's uniform. Normally they stay pretty true.
That's going to be a base hit served into left field. Lowry in to score. 2-0 Oakland. So Olson goes the other way to pick up the RBI, and the pitch that got away on the strikeout, that does cost the Red Sox.
And here's the pitch right here going with that spike curve, and you see him shoot it right to the shortstop where they did have a shift. You see that, all that landscape right there, and you got Brock Holt on the other side. A single right there, RBI knock and a shift beater.
So Pomerantz looking a little bit rusty. In the first inning, a walk, a double, a base hit. Down 2-0. They'll send up Mark Canha, the center fielder, .333 hitter with 2 home runs.
Yeah, tough luck right here. He technically has got 3 outs with that strikeout. I was able to kick back and extend the inning.
First and second. For Pomerantz last year, career highs in wins, in starts, innings pitched. Red Sox went 22-10 in his starts. Down the stretch, 14-4. And here in the first inning of his first start of the year, he's going to face at least 7 men. Pitch number 31. Fly ball, right field line again, taking aim into that corner, and a foul ball. So much space down the line here.
There's so much space down the line. It's the 3rd batter trying to shoot the ball down to right field. Jed Lowry's was able to keep fair. So see the Oakland Athletics offensive approach so far is letting that ball get deep. Letting that ball get deep is going to allow you to see that curveball. Again, though, another 0-2 count here. So he is throwing strikes. Pitch count is going up. Got to imagine there is a limit with him being start 1.
2 on and 2 out. 0-2 on Canha.
Another crack at it down the right field line.
Pomerantz allowed 2 or fewer runs in a major league leading 23 starts last year. Babe Ruth in 1913 and Roger Clemens in 1990. The only other Red Sox pitchers to do that. Put his year in perspective. 17 wins is one thing. He had a lot of great numbers. Check swing. 1 and 2 on Canha.
With Vasquez back there too, this is the first time he's caught him in a long time. Obviously a lot from last year, but getting accustomed to that big curveball that he does throw.
Chapman at second and Olsen at first for the A's with 2 runs up there in the first inning. 1-2. Foul away.
And again, up in the zone, the elevated fastball. Now, the elevated fastball is a good pitch, but you are going to have to mix in some pitches on the lower half to get them off the upper half.
Next one will be Pomerantz's 35th pitch in the first inning. And the Red Sox have activity in the bullpen right away. And the 1-2 down low. Hector Velasquez warming up in the bullpen. He's certainly the long man for the Red Sox.
It will be interesting, like I was talking about, with all the righties in the lineup, Olsen being the only lefty. It's almost like a hockey line change. If the Red Sox were to go to the right-hander, we might see some pitch hitters. I have played here before. That is an organizational way, something Bob and the front office like to do. So we will see if there's a whole lineup spot.
So unusual to see a Red Sox starter scuffling like this. Pomerantz's first time out. Here's the 2-2. And a base hit inside first down the line. Chapman around. He's going to score. Olsen to third. And Canha comes through to make it 3-0 Oakland.
3-0 right there on another RBI knock to the right side. All true right field right down the line. It looks like this approach is working out for Oakland right here. Here he goes with that spike curveball up a little bit, going for a strike. You see him stay back and just shoot it right to the left of Mitch Moreland. Mookie able to cut it off and limit the damage. but they did get an RBI knock right there.
Third hit in the inning. He's also walked a man. And on a strikeout pitch, it got by Vasquez to keep the inning alive, get him another base runner. So here comes the number 8 hitter in the first inning in Chad Pinder. 222 with a home run. First and third, and 3-0 Oakland.
Yeah, that high fastball again right there. Can get away with it up there. Left-handers can have success up there, but you do have to have a few where you drive it down.
Olsen at third, Canna at first. Pomerantz with his 38th pitch. That'll be a strike.
A little lower right there, making the adjustment, finishing his pitches. Now, without that pass ball from Vasquez, that extended the inning for 2 more hits and 2 more runs. We could have got out of it with 1 hit and 1 run. But instead, extended the inning. Tough luck.
The 29-year-old out of Memphis, Tennessee. It's his home now, and foul back out of play. So ball and 2 strikes on Pinder. The A's have finished last 3 years in a row as they explore options for a brand new ballpark here in Northern California, trying to lure fans to this antiquated stadium. And a 1-2 from Pomerantz. Down the right field line again. That one headed for the foul pole, and that ball is foul. Eventually, the umpire at first base, Hunter Wendelstedt, took a look and ruled it foul, but I'm not sure he really saw that.
Yeah, you actually saw him make a gesture to his eyes. He really didn't go fair or foul right away. Turn back to the home plate umpire to make sure, and I think they're allowing Bob Melvin some time to look at it, because the umpire, he went to his eyes and said he didn't see it.
And now wants to talk with Brian Gorman. Let's see if we can enhance this angle now, because if they change their minds here, that's a 3-run homer.
That sure is. That's going to put it at 6-0 through 1, 2/3 of an inning. And again, another ball with some sunk behind it to the right side.
See if we can pick this up.
It'll be a coin flip.
Umpires going over this. They are going to take a look at it back in New York. This is a crew chief review. Melvin with a little nudge there, but it's up to the crew chief to review this. This is not a challenge charge to the Oakland A's.
Yeah, like I did see, he did go to his eyes. He probably lost it in the twilight that's going on right now.
The ball that was ruled to be foul.
I thought the ball was foul from my angle. I thought I saw it not disappear on the left side, but stay visible on the right side. Let's see what they come up with here.
And the other interesting thing is they're going to have to come up with evidence to overrule the foul ball.
I think this might be a closer look.
One thing you want to look at is if you do see the ball disappear. It disappearing meaning it's going to go behind the foul pole, which will make it a fair ball. I got it as foul. With a pass ball on strike 3 to extend the inning. Tough luck right there. A foul 3-run homer to get turned around would be extremely tough luck. Foul ball.
It is foul.
That's dodging a bullet. That's dodging a bullet.
Ball on the field. Stand.
So it remains 3-0. Runners on at first and third. Count of 1-2 on Pinder. And what has been a rough inning, could have been a whole lot rougher for Pomerantz. He's not out of it yet.
He's not out of it. In the driver's seat with 2 strikes right here. You'd ask yourself, a hit's going to drive in another run, a walk's going to get him loaded. Possibly his last batter.
Pitch number 41. And he missed with that.
He did miss with that, but you did see that depth on the ball right there. He is starting to drive it down, but running out of pitches. The magic pitch count is running out. Got to try and get out of this inning.
Pinder with some pop as well. 2-2. Filled up, runner trying to go first to second. Vasquez guns down there, and he's not going to get him. Olsen holding at third base. So really nothing going right here in this first inning for Pomerantz. And he's filled up the count on Pinder.
Yeah, this is a good ball and dirt. You see the shuffle, so not a straight steal. Head down, goes for the head first slide, has Ricky Henderson field. He's able to get 2 runners in scoring position.
So he's uncorked 2 wild pitches in the inning.
3-2 count, 2 outs. Do have a base open.
Foul back. And a good cut by Pinder. Pomerantz did pitch well against the A's on a couple of occasions last year. He had a 180 earned run average against them. Different story here in the first inning in his return tonight. 3 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 wild pitches, and a near miss and a 3-run homer. And the 3-2.
Another foul ball. Quite a few foul balls down the line to the right side. Quite a few straight back right here. So he's not quite missing barrels. They are getting a little bit of wood, if not the good wood, for those knocks down the right field line.
Olsen and Canna at third and second. And that'll be in there for strike 3. He's finally out of the inning, but that was a long one. And it's 3-0 Oakland.
Hey fans, we're in section 110 with
Top of the second, 3-0 Oakland. It's our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Always here to get you there. Mitch Moreland's career at Oakland been a very good one. Look at the home runs, 14 of them. That's in 45 games. That ties him with Mike Trout for the most by a visitor since 2010. And also Moreland has homered in each of his last 3 games right here.
Yeah, that's from his old Texas Ranger days, obviously playing in the same division as Oakland. Coming into tonight, does have 2 home runs. The opposing pitcher tonight.
Well, Mitch with a 7-game hitting streak, and he's 12 for 26 during that with 7 RBIs. So he's cooking.
Yeah, he's hitting everybody.
Outfield playing deep. And a strike. Red Sox down 3-0. Unusual feeling for Boston these days, where Red Sox are running roughshod over people, piling up early leads. Gonna have to fight back tonight. Another one downstairs, 3-1. Devers on deck, and then Nunez. JD Martinez out of the lineup. His turn to rest tonight. His last 2 games against the Angels, JD had 7 hits. Filled up now on Moreland. So Devers has moved up to the 5 spot. And yet another member of the Red Sox who has been spanking it. When chasing there, down he goes, strike 3. That was out of the zone, so 1 away. Second K for Kendall Graveman, who came in having allowed 36 base runners in just 17 and a third innings. And there has been talk that if this one went badly for him, started the night with a 9.87 ERA, that if this went badly like the other starts, he might be headed to the minor leagues.
Yeah, at some point you got to say enough is enough. I mean, when he's coming out sniffing a 10 ERA, obviously not giving his ball club much of a chance to win on that given night.
Even though he was their opening day starter. Strike on Rafael Devers, hitting an even 300 with 3 home runs now. 17 runs batted in. And that leads the ball club.
Trailing just Jed Lowry over their second baseman.
Line the other way, and he serves a single to left field. So the Red Sox have their second base hit tonight against Graveman. Red Sox season ticket plans can provide fans with the best seats, price, and benefits the Sox have to offer. Plans start at 10 games. They're available right now. For more information, you can visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877 Red Sox 9.
Nifty little swing for Devers right there to put him at that 5-game hitting streak, getting a knock his first at bat.
9 for his last 18.
Good solid 500 clip, 500 batting average.
Well, here's Eduardo Nunez, who is at second base tonight, 250 with a pair of home runs. He was 0 for 4 yesterday in the Red Sox rout of the Angels. Mike Scioscia could not get the Red Sox out of Anaheim quickly enough.
There's a very sharp detour for the Red Sox to get to the airplane.
High chop, deep short, flagged down by Semien, but he'll have no play. That'll be another hit as Nunez is aboard. So first and second.
This is Devers chopping the ball down again, though. They do have Chapman right there, just out of his reach. Nunez, sorry, puts runners on first and second for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Jackie coming off 4 for 10 with a home run in Anaheim, his first home run of the season.
And how quick the tables can turn here in the American League. Obviously 2 runners on, Jackie's up, 3-run homer, right back to even, tie ball game.
Red Sox here for 3 against Oakland. And then it'll be on to Toronto. After this series, we will say goodbye to Johnny Gomes for a little while, tearfully. Red Sox heading for Toronto. Chris Sale goes tomorrow. And you'll go back to your other gig
got 2 jobs. I'm a working man. 2 jobs.
Your other job, you're teaching youngins. You're teaching young hitters.
I am teaching young hitters. I am no longer a hitter. I am now a hitting coach. And
fouled out of play. So do they call you coach?
I make them call me coach. It's pretty funny.
You like it?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
You really enjoy it?
I do. I mean, we're talking kids now. I got a 16-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, there are a couple 17-year-olds. Got 2 guys from the Bahamas. There's some talent down there. Mike Hazen, of course,
yep.
ex-Red Sox. Torey Lovello, captain of the ship at the top. So helping the old boys out.
Johnny in the Arizona organization as Coach John.
Coach John. Yeah, I've had a couple of them, you know, a couple Massachusetts guys, Red Sox fans, and
you know, I bet they love working with you, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But they're a little starry-eyed. Roll that ring out.
Yep.
Down into the dirt on Jackie with Devers at second and Nunez on at first.
There's a motto down there. I got him. I say, you got to grind to shine, kids. You got to grind to shine.
I like that. It's a beautiful ring, by the way.
It is. It is.
I talked to Joe Castiglione. Joe's got all 3 rings and loves them all, but I think he's partial to the 13 ring.
That Boston strong on it says a lot.
Yep. 2-2. That's a high fly ball into right field. Piscotty back, turning around and kiss it goodbye. You were saying something about a 3-run homer to tie it.
And how quick things can happen, how quick tables can turn. Graven coming in struggling to get left-handers, like I mentioned earlier, coming at a 467 clip, has given up 2 home runs to left-handers. Jackie Bradley, I'm going to bail you out, Drew Pomerantz, bail you out. Back to even, 0-0 ball game.
Jackie with number 2 is second on the trip and has quickly tied it at 3 apiece here in Oakland. And Speedway will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run. Register your Speedy Rewards Club card right now and you'll qualify to choose some great rewards.
At this rate, they just might build a new hospital. A lot of money.
This offense, it does not take long to respond. Vasquez 224 without a home run yet.
You know, and I was thinking, I mean, it's not the Red Sox fault they're that good. And here you go, Mookie driving the bus right here, getting that fastball, bat flip, staying on it right there. Tell you what, Oakland at night, you got to drive the ball. You got to drive the ball, and it started with Anaheim, that nice swing that he was able to bottle it up and continue and carry it over to Oakland.
So Jackie with a 3-run shot after the singles by Devers and Nunez. Olsen will scoop that up at first, and that's the second out. So 2 down in front of Brock Holt.
Like I was mentioning, I mean, the Red Sox having historic season, historic start. So haven't played from behind very often, but it is something you want to check off. But with the way the pitchers are going on offense, nice little character check right here. Getting down 3-0 in the first. And again, I talked about in Anaheim, the shutdown innings. A nice formula for winning. Oakland gets 3, firing it right back with 3. This is the homer right here, just clobbering that fastball up in the zone, fires hands in. And I tell you what, if you get it in the second row of seats over there, there's some footage.
That is a man's home run.
That's some footage.
The 1-1 to Brock. Brock Holt coming off an outstanding series as well. Just about everybody did. As he went 4 for 9 with a home run. He's hit safely in 4 straight. Now, early in the season, the Red Sox were playing a lot of close games and came back a lot in those early games. That hasn't been the case in like the last 11 when they've been just crushing and averaging over 8 runs a game. But they showed that ability to come back time and time again in those early games. just got to believe that builds tremendous confidence.
Yeah, it sure does, especially when you have the bullpen that they do. The starter can just keep them in the game.
To the shortstop, Semien will gun on and get him at first base to retire the side, but back come the Red Sox to tie it.
This day in A's history is brought to you.
Tomorrow at 7 on NESN. Jackie Bradley got it all, a 3-run homer, and quickly ties the ball game. This Red Sox team does not like being behind very long.
No, no, no. They were uncomfortable for about 2 outs.
So dead even 3-3. Jackie's second. And we'll see if Pomerantz can settle down here. Lou Croy, the catcher, will look at strike one. He's the 9-hitter. Then it's Semien and Piscotty. Pomerantz roughed up in the first inning for 3 runs, 3 hits, including 2 wild pitches. Although he did strike out 3. Fly ball weakly hit. Here comes Mookie Betts on a run, a sliding play, and he hangs on for out number 1. You know, he was the talk of the press box when we all got to work here today in Oakland. And a lot of people were saying, you know, right now it looks like Mookie Betts has gone to the top of the charts in the American League, even over Mike Trout. Now, I know Mike Trout and Mookie both talked about that, and they say, look, you know, we like the other guy. He's a terrific player. I wish people wouldn't compare. But Mookie's coming off an incredible series against the Angels, and he's put it all together in all phases of the game like nobody's business.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And obviously, to get to Mike Trout, first of all, you have to knock on his door. And that's what he's doing right now. He's knocking on his door. Is it Trout right now? Still debatable. But I tell you what, when you're debating about who's the best player in baseball, there's only 755 at one given time on this planet. So he is 100% knocking on his door.
Semien's 0 for 1. He'll take it high and tight. Good power out of him. He had 27 home runs 2 years ago. He missed most of last year because of a wrist injury. Pomerantz in dire need of a fast inning, shutdown inning, as you like to point out. Such a big deal for a ball club when you get 3 like that.
He's also battling that pitch count, sitting at 52 right here. So not only, he's obviously probably not going to last till the 6th, but it would be good to extend him as long as you can to give the bullpen a little bit of a break. Granted, they did have a pretty big break in Anaheim, but you always want to get 6 out of your starter. Not looking like it tonight, but continue to pound the zone.
3-2 and a high fly, but foul. Plenty of distance, but foul. Yesterday, Alex Cora was talking about this start for Drew and said 105 pitches. would be the max here tonight. One down, 3-2. And he missed with that, and he walked him. So he's walked 2 men. Tomorrow at 8, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud. It's available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Steve will break down the Drew Pomerantz first start of 2018. His actual name is Thomas Andrew Pomerantz. He grabs the Drew from that middle name. Here's Piscotty now. He walked and scored a run in the first inning. Tied up 3-3 in Oakland.
You haven't seen too many ground balls out of Drew. Right now, this situation, runner on first, 1 out, ground ball, best case scenario, turn that double play. Drew Pomerantz with that elevated fastball, which is going to create fly balls. The curveball, which is also going to create fly balls, and swing and miss rate is going to be pretty high. If you can drive the ball down and get 1 pitch, 2 outs, double play, best case scenario, and will help that pitch count.
Well, he popped him up into left center field, coming over Benintendi and Jackie Bradley as well, and Benintendi with the grab for out number 2. CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. You can learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. And Lowry will be next. Jed's already done some damage against his old team with a run-scoring double and scored a run in the first inning. Look at the Jed Lowry timeline. Came up with the Red Sox in 2008. Then Houston in 2012. Then here to the Oakland A's for 2 years. Back to Houston. And now back to the A's over the last 3 years.
Wow. Wonder if he has the same place. Obviously familiar with the area, going to Stanford. Familiar with Houston. I've already played there.
I believe Jed's wife is also a Stanford grad, and she's a diplomat.
Ooh. It's an interesting Thanksgiving dinner. Baseball talk and some other talk.
A lot of highfalutin talk.
Sure.
I don't think you and I would be invited, John.
No.
You might get in, but I'm you know, I get that. Hey, don't worry about it, Dave. Just send a pie over.
Yeah, I'll be the guy eating the apple pie in the back.
In the den. Semien aboard. High and wide. Yep, Jed's now 34 years old, and with an organization like Oakland, if he continues to have this kind of a season, it would be hard to think they'd hang on to him all season. You know, a trade would probably be in his future.
Sure. I know he was on the trade block last year as well with some contenders. He is comfortable here, though. You might want to parlay it into the next year and the following year. 34, you're obviously battling age, but not swinging it that way.
Yep. Smacks that into right field for a base hit. That'll move Semien into second base. So Lowry continues to hit. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And we'll see if that gets the bullpen going again. Pomerantz clearly is not sharp. Red Sox have battled back to tie it. No one throwing yet. Hector Velasquez was warming in the first inning when he struggled to get through 8 men. Yep, here comes Alex Cora. Interesting that he does not send Dana Levangie out. He goes out himself.
Yeah, and this could possibly just like a temperature check. Just really want to make sure he's feeling okay. And again, the very dangerous Chris Davis coming up to the plate. Jackie Bradley 3-run home run. This guy is very, very capable.
Davis pretty much all or nothing, isn't he? Feels like it's either a home run or you put another K in the book. He struck out in the first. Certainly not alone in that hitting philosophy in the majors in 2018. He has runners at first and second. And 2 down. Starts him with a breaking ball outside. That curveball has not been a great pitch for him. Whereas most of last season, from May 20th on, it was pretty deadly for Drew.
Yeah, I have faced Drew before, and when that thing is on, I mean, as tall as he is, and be on the mound and have that ball pop even higher off the mound, the depth that that ball covers in 60 feet 6 inches, which is the distance from the rubber to the dish, is pretty impressive. And that is due to that spike curveball.
Now looking to get through the second inning, a couple more base runners. And a 1-1 to Davis. That'll twist into foul ground. Lengthy run here from Moreland on the move. Can't get to it. Boy, you can run all night in Oakland in foul ground, first and third, and never get there.
Yeah. I mean, that's 30 rows deep at Fenway.
So 62 pitches with 2 down in the second for the left-hander.
It was a good time for the curveball right here in the dirt, the swing and miss one. He's thrown 17. That would be a 17th, and as of now, he's only thrown 7 for strikes. A nice time for curveball strike.
Looking for that K, the 1-2 up top at 87. Chapman on deck. Semien on at second. Lowry on at first.
It's pretty cool watching Davis hit. Upright, not a lot of bend in his knees, hands moving. You see his timing right here. And then you'll come to a set right here, and you watch this powerful load. Looks like he's kind of just statue, but moving his hands. And then you see him just gear up. Oof.
Well, he's running full, so the runners will get a head start here with 2 down.
Still sticking with that good curveball right here. He has changed his eye level to the upper half, upper half, upper half. Has fouled off a few.
Well, Velasquez is going to start warming up again down the right field line in the Red Sox bullpen. That for the second time already. Got to be careful here. The 3-2 to Davis. Runners take off, and he got him. Came back with that knuckle curve to strike him out. Mookie Betts, who is 0 for 1 tonight. Red Sox 3 and the Oakland Athletics 3. Still facing Kendall Graveman Red Sox have twice had activity in the bullpen. Nobody throwing right now. Mookie scalds that one and caught by Chapman at third base. So one man gone and Mookie 0 for 2.
Now batting.
And that'll send up Andrew Benintendi, who struck out in the first inning.
Benintendi would like to get into the action right here. We have mentioned Kendall struggles against left-handers. Benny obviously being a left-hander, so he can drive a ball in the gap. Taking a crack at it right there. 0-0, feeling good.
Those sizable gaps at the Coliseum. And the 0-1, that'll drift outside. Benintendi taking a lot of walks. In fact, he's tied for the American League lead with 5 multi-walk games. His first home run of the year came last night against the Angels.
Benny has seen Kendall before coming in at a 500 average. Just a 1 for 2, but that one hit being a double. Not a bad time to get on the board again.
Chris Sale tomorrow at 9:05, so tomorrow night's game will start 1 hour earlier than tonight. And then Sunday at 4:05, David Price to finish off this series. So sending nothing but lefties out against the A's.
With game 1 tonight, you would think you get a win out of tonight and Drew Pomerantz. Back and it was Sale and Price. Feeling pretty good about the West Coast swing.
3-2 roll foul.
Not looking too far forward, but I tell you what, Chris Sale, his stuff, Oakland athletics, aggressive at the plate, can drive the ball. Jed obviously dangerous, but do have a lot of swing and miss in him.
Benintendi fans. And there are 2 down. This is a big day in Red Sox history, this particular date, April 20. Because in 1939, a skinny young kid by the name of Ted Williams made his major league debut for the Boston Red Sox. And it was also true that I think he weighed about 150 pounds. Later, of course, the Splendid Splinter, Teddy Ball Game, also nicknamed himself.
Pretty good fisherman.
A great fisherman.
Wow.
Absolutely spectacular Hall of Fame fisherman.
Pretty good pilot.
Yes. And anything else he wanted to do.
Yeah, right.
Hanley with a base hit. First time up. Pops this one into the miles of foul ground, but it's going to keep on drifting into the net.
I'm a collector. Sports collector, memorabilia. And I do have a Ted Williams signed bat. And when people come over, it's probably the only piece of memorabilia I don't show anyone. So
You don't show them?
No, I hoard it. I don't want anyone to know I got it and where it is. I'm telling y'all I got it, but it's a pretty special piece.
I got a chance to work with Nomar Garciaparra for a couple of years on TV, and he and Ted had some great talks about hitting. And some of those stories that Nomar tells are just priceless. You know, getting a phone call from Ted Williams at like 8 o'clock in the morning and grilling him about how he swung the bat the night before and what he looks for on certain counts and what he should expect on 3-2 from a left-hander. It's amazing. And Nomar said, I better get them all right, because if I didn't, I had you know what to pay.
Wow.
Waking him up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you know. Great stuff.
How about the fact, too, that Ted is still in tuned in baseball and watching all of Nomar's bats?
Yes. Count on him as strike 3. Red Sox go in order here in the 3rd inning. replacement experts at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Visit bidmc.org. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien with you. And whenever you're over Johnny's, make sure you ask to see the autographed Ted Williams bat, because Johnny will take you to a room where that bat is not. You're not going to get a chance to see it, apparently. I would love to see it myself.
Got lasers, dogs, trapdoors.
Yes.
Fingerprints.
Security.
Retina scan. Not letting that one go.
Smart man. Well, Pomerantz tried to negotiate through the second inning despite giving up a walk and a single. Eventually struck out Chris Davis, so he did not allow a run. We're still tied 3-3. Here's the Pomerantz pitching line, brought to you by Ace Ticket. First inning was rough. Hit hard, but fouled on the left field line. We talk about it being such a big day in Red Sox history. Ted Williams with his major league debut in 1939, but just 5 years ago, a very emotional day at Fenway and throughout Boston. Red Sox played their first game following the tragic events of the Boston Marathon. David Ortiz proclaiming during his pregame ceremonies, "This is our city." And that's going to be in there for strike 3. So an awful lot happened on this date in Red Sox history.
It is. I was front and center for that speech from David Ortiz.
Daniel Nava hit a go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox would win the game 4-3. But everybody remembers what they were doing when Big Papi came to that microphone. And they're writing stories about that day and that speech right now on the 5-year anniversary.
Sure.
I saw you quoted just the other day in one of them.
Yeah.
In the Bleacher Report, which was a really nice piece, and talked to the mayor of Boston, and talked to players who were on the field, and talked to fans and ushers who were in the ballpark that day. Just remarkable.
And then coming in, I want to say it was the 7th inning, a pinch hit for Shane Victorino.
Olsen lines that one fouled on the right field line.
Led the inning off with a double. Turned around to the dugout. And if you remember, we had the white jerseys, and that white jersey you wear your mascot or your team across. And you go on the road as Boston, we had white jerseys. It said Boston across. Then I went for the Boston flex, so it was Boston strong. And that was the photo that ended up landing on the cover of SI.
Yeah, a very famous photo.
I've signed SIs every state I've been to since. Pretty cool.
617 appearing everywhere.
Sure.
Also the base hit to drive in a run in the first inning. Bases are empty as Pomerantz is in need of a 1-2-3. Will be limited to 105 pitches here tonight. His return.
Olsen came up and beat the shift when he shot it to the right side. And the Red Sox defense is staying with the shift, even though he did have that seeing single right what would be a routine ground ball to the shortstop. Of course, we got Brock Holt playing on the right side. If you think about it, he did have that strikeout pass ball, which would have been an out. Olsen getting that single, which would have been a routine ground ball if the shift wasn't that far over.
Well, another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks. Time for a game break. Brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron.
Now ready, center fielder, 20, Mark Canna.
TC, thank you very much. Well, Pomerantz is trying to go 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts in the third inning. He's gotten the first 2. That brings up Mark Canna. Infield single for him. He's 1 for 1.
If TC had his own show, he'd probably invite me on.
Unlike the Mad Fisherman.
Unlike the Mad Fisherman.
And I'll bet TC can fish. You know, he's a Mainer, so he is immersed in outdoor activities. I'll bet he's a fine fisherman. And I'll bet he would invite you to his boat any day of the week, Johnny.
Is TC your first pick on a week-long backpacking trip?
Oh, no question. No question. That's in there for strike. You know, all that LL Bean stuff that he's been buying for about 40 years. He'll have it all covered.
Can only imagine the Boy Scout knots that he has.
Yes. That's DC, the Boy Scout knot.
Yep. Boy Scout knotter guy.
He's an Eagle Scout. 1-2 and got him, pinned him to the plate. And Pomerantz strikes out 3. Sale can baffle the league's best, but can he answer some of the toughest questions from kids? Catch an all-new NESN Clubhouse Sunday 2:30 on NESN, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Back in Oakland, where Eck is still huge, including his head. One of the Oakland A's mascots, entertaining during the commercial break. They named a gate after Eck here at the Coliseum, the Dennis Eckersley Gate.
The gate. Statue would have been cool.
Would have been nice too, but
yeah.
Eck gets a gate.
You got a gate. Yeah, and that bobblehead or whatever you're talking about is big, but it wouldn't go flattering.
I would not either, and I think Eck would be the first to say so. I don't think he's in love with it. I really don't.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's one big head. You can't miss it. Moreland is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Red Sox tied up 3-3 with Oakland. And Drew Pomerantz has suddenly struck out 7 Oakland A's and just had a perfect 3rd inning. So the first inning back, that was a rough one as he gave up 3. But as you point out, if not for the wild pitch on a strikeout, it would have been the 3rd. He holds him to maybe 1 run in that first inning.
Yeah, and then, you know, with the shift beater from Olsen, and they had the third base playing real true shortstop and Brock Holt really on the other side. So two tough pitches parlayed into 3 runs.
Semien sets him down tomorrow at 8:30. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Steve will preview tomorrow's matchup between Chris Sale and the Oakland A's. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? So Pomerantz looks like he's starting to settle in. Here's Rafael Devers so far tonight. 1 for 1, another hit for the 21-year-old.
Climbing north of 300, coming in at a 310 clip with that first single in the 2nd inning.
Line to left. Coming on in a dive, and Pinder has it. Outstanding play in left field to steal a hit, and there are 2 down.
Still a nice swing from Devers right there. Again, like we saw in, against the Angels. Loud outs. Here's that swing right there. A nice looking swing. Head down, driving the ball the other way. Good velocity coming off, and it took a great catch to retire Devers. Come on, come on, fall, fall, fall. No! Still all right, kid, trust me.
2 gone for Eduardo Nunez. He has an infield single tonight. Eduardo with a pair of home runs on the young season. Red Sox trying to go to 17-2. It's almost like before you say it, you have to catch yourself.
So it's 17-2. I mean, you're knocking on the door of 20. You're knocking on the. I mean, that's pretty much in the books, a 20-win month.
This one locked up. That's lined down into the right field corner, foul. Jackie Bradley, the man responsible for a 3-run homer in the second inning to tie the ball game against Graveman. Jackie with his second. It was gone and then some to right field.
That definitely had some backspin power flight, is what I like to call it.
Ate him up inside, struck him out. Red Sox go 1-2-3. In Oakland, and Red Sox fans, you can trust Ace Ticket for lower prices, better service, and a great selection of tickets with a 200% guarantee. Chat live right now with a specialist at aceticket.com. Well, Pomerantz zipped through the 3rd inning with 3 consecutive strikeouts. He also had a K in the 2nd and struck out 3 men in the 1st inning. So he is racking them up now, up to 7. That one roped but foul off the bat of Chad Pinder, who struck out looking in the 1st.
Nice pitch right there, going to the changeup. 0-0. You have seen that before. I think he has 2 of them for a strike. 0-0. So that's just the 3rd look right there. That's good. And of course, he's got him out ahead. Majority of the time, you come back with another one on the outer half. So now it's going to open up both sides of the plate and up and down.
Pinder last year with 15 home runs, but hit just 238. Lucroy on deck, and then Semi in the top of the order for Oakland. Roll foul.
Now with Pomerantz throwing that spike curveball pitch before, you see him lose the grip and it sails up and out for a non-competitive ball. But for him to come right back to it tells me he's still confident in that pitch, and that one just slips out of his hand. So for him to make the adjustment, just 1 pitch is a good sign.
Fly ball in the center field, well hit. Bradley back on the track, that's over his head, skips up off the fence into second. Pinder, he'll settle for the double. get the bullpen active again, and let's go down to Garen Austin.
Well, Obi, I was talking with assistant pitching coach Brian Bannister about Drew Pomerantz's start here last year, and he said he really pitched well after that. He said he was more aggressive. He pitched with intent. His curveball was excellent, and he elevated his four-seamer, and he said he started to experiment more with the two-seamer as well as a changeup, and he really became more of a complete pitcher. Now, Bannister pointed out that Pomerantz didn't have that much experience starting at a high level before that, and he said after that start last year, he really blossomed into the pitcher that he's become, guys.
17-6 last year, 3.32 ERA. Just giving up a double to the leadoff man in the inning, and Lucroy will take a strike. He's 0 for 1, a fly to right field. He's releasing Stephen Vogt and acquiring Lucroy, and there's Velasquez again, and this is the third time he's thrown a warm-up toss in the Sox bullpen.
Yeah, and that's about the limit too. You don't want him to get hot, cold, get hot, cold, get hot, cold. So him getting up right here with no outs tells me Drew's limited on at-bats, good or bad. You don't want to get him hot for the third time and sit him back down.
Go ahead run at second here in the fourth inning, a play on. Alex Cora came out when Pomerantz was in trouble real early. He came out himself to pass along a message. Did not send his pitching coach out there. And Pomerantz has pitched much better since then.
Good meeting.
0-1 popped up center field. Jackie Bradley a long run in, but plenty of time to get there. So one man gone. The throw coming into third. And it'll be the top of the order in Semien next. Coming from a very strong baseball family. Pomerantz's dad played at Ole Miss, as did Drew, as did his uncle, and his older brother Stuart was a second-round draft pick in 2003 by the St. Louis Cardinals.
And Drew Pomerantz, first-round draft pick to the Colorado Rockies. Now that's a Thanksgiving dinner.
Semien is grounded out to first. He's also taken ball 4. Velasquez is all heated up. And if Cora decides to call on him at last, and that'll be in there for a strike. 85 pitches for the lefty.
Yeah, I can imagine with Hector up there right there. Drew is able to get out of this inning. This will probably be his last inning due to Hector getting up for the third time.
Stephen Piscotty on deck. Made him move his feet there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last year, Pomerantz had the 5th lowest ERA in the majors from May 20th to the end of the season. 2.84. After guys like Corey Kluber and Steven Strasburg and Max Scherzer. Flared foul.
That's phenomenal company to be in. He did kind of bounce around, like I was saying, drafted by Colorado, came to Oakland, off to San Diego, into the Red Sox, and really settled in. And this being actually his free agency year, his contract ends this year at the end. I'm sure he's looking for a good season himself.
Pinder at second with 1 down. 1-2. Rope toward left. Benintendi there. Sinking line drive, and he makes the play. Runner holds at second. That was hit on the button, but 2 down. And here comes Cora. Alex Cora making his way to the mound. He is going to bring in Velasquez to try and hold them. 88 pitches. So for Drew Pomerantz, the night is over. That runner at second is his responsibility. And a left-hander done for the night. We'll continue with more in Oakland in a moment. Tied 3-3. Has better competition, do you think, the American League East or the West? Text 1 for the East, 2 for the West, and text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. So Velasquez, who's really a long man for the Red Sox, will come on here in the 4th inning. He inherits a runner at second base with 2 down, and Piscotty, the batter, has walked and scored and flied out to left. The Red Sox have to be happy to get the left-hander Pomerantz into the fold again, as he went 3 2/3. He got better as the night went along. Did allow a Pinder double, and he's at second. And drops in there for a strike.
In the 1st inning right here, a little bit of action right here. Jed Lowry, true double down the right field line for an RBI. That's an even 1 right there. The pass ball right here, a strikeout. This should end the inning right there. This is with 2 outs, beats the shift. No shortstop right there. Tough luck right there. And again, another one, a true hit, but should have had 2 outs.
Line right, that'll be caught by Brock Holt, able to snatch that one. And that will retire the side, tied 3-3. Top of the fifth, and here's the man of the hour for the Red Sox. Jackie Bradley launched a 3-run homer in the second to tie the ball game against the right-hander Kendall Graveman, who's still out there. So it'll be Jackie and then Christian Vasquez, and Brock Holt just made a fine play on a line drive to retire the side. So no decision tonight for Drew Pomerantz, as the left-hander got onto the hill for the first time this season. That'll be in there for a strike.
And starting Jackie off with 2 changeups right there, staying away from him. Obviously still shaking in those boots from that long home run.
A little two hopper to Olsen. He'll take it to the bag for the out. 1 man gone in the 5th. Time for our high strength steel play, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
Big swing right there. Hank Aaron says not how far, it's how many. But on this one, boy, did it go far, as did the one in Anaheim. Jackie swinging a powerful, loud bat right now.
1 for 2 tonight. Vasquez now 0 for 1 with a grounder to first.
So be curious to see what Bob does. Bob Melvin, the manager for the Oakland A's. We are sitting in the top of the 5th, but coming in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, he does have a couple lefties down there in the bullpen, and you want to bring your lefties in to face the opposing team's lefty. But when you got JD Martinez sitting on the bench for a possible pinch hit, and can pinch hit for our lefties, it's going to be a nice little chess match of what he does with the bullpen late in the game with such a powerful bat sitting in the Red Sox dugout. I'm sure ready to rip if needed.
A rest night for JD, at least as a starter. Cross for a called strike, and Vasquez at 91. Red Sox entered today with a 4-game lead in the American League East over Toronto. Toronto has defeated the Yankees, though, 8-5. Stay tuned after the 3rd out of this half inning for the mid-5th studio show with Adam and Mark coming your way. And Graveman 0-3, an ERA of 9.87 delivers, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, and he got him, strike 3. So Vasquez could not contain himself, and they're 2 down.
Little check swing right here, pulls the trigger, tries to unpull it, but goes too far. Once that barrel crosses the home plate, obviously check swing strike.
So Graveman has set down 10 in a row. Brock Holt trying to break that up. He's 0 for 1 with a grounder to short. As we come into the ballpark, just to our right as we enter the baseball stadium is the basketball arena for the Golden State Warriors. They certainly are one of the favorites to win the NBA title.
Yeah, there's been some winning basketball in that arena the past couple of years. Grew up a Warriors fan growing up in this area.
Hits softly. The pitcher will handle that chance, and the Red Sox go in order. Time now to turn it over to Adam and Mark for the mid-5th studio show. 3-3 with the A's. As we take it to the last half of the 5th inning, so right at the midway point, Lowry will lead it off, and Velasquez moving into his 2nd inning. Lowry, Davis, Chapman, that's the heart of the order for Oakland. Jed with an RBI double in the 1st, a base hit in the 2nd, 2 for 2. Former Red Sox now hitting .361 and it tops in the majors, 22 RBIs.
Pretty impressive. Switching over to the left side as Jed is being the switch hitter. Some right-handed pitcher, left-handed swing. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed swing. And there it is with the double ear flap, obviously the same helmet.
Jed with 14 home runs all last year, already with 6.
Playing some catch-up.
And Velasquez with the 0-1.
Nice whole brush back pitch right there, up and in, so you can get him off the plate, move his feet, get him uncomfortable. Try something new. Jed hasn't got out tonight. 2 for 2.
They have a decent crowd here tonight on this Friday evening.
Looks like some sort of giveaway. I think I see a lot of Chapman jerseys, Chapman t-shirts down there. It's fun to go to a ballpark on a giveaway night.
Chapman, their fine young 3rd baseman. And Velasquez with a 1-2. Line drive in the left center field, another base hit. That takes a bit of a funny hop. Jackie got to it though, and Lowry is 3 for 3. So he could not be much hotter than he is right now. WB Mason delivers Keurig Commercial Brewers and Green Mountain Coffee Roasters K-Cup pods the same day directly to your break room when you order by 11:30 a.m. Who but WB Mason? Already 5 3-hit games for him, Johnny Gomes.
That's impressive. Jed Lowry, not really the speedster, but you see him taking his batting gloves off and putting his base running gloves on, going with the all black.
Davis, hard ground ball, might be 2. Devers to 2nd one. On the first double play. 5-4-3 started by Rafael Devers, just like that, 2 gone.
That's it. Chris Davis stepping to the plate, always a deep threat. Gets him to roll over that ball to Devers. Right here, and Devers making a nice play. This ball is scorched. That ball's hit hard. Stays it, has time. No one, both the runners, Jed and Davis. Not exactly fleet of foot, both slow. So have time, play catch, 1 pitch, 2 outs.
Chapman now on his jersey night here in Oakland. He struck out twice. But the first time he struck out, it was a wild pitch. Charged to Pomerantz, got by Vasquez, so he reached base and he would score in the end.
The 2 difference, you got a wild pitch and then a pass ball. Pass ball is going to be hung on the catcher. Wild pitch will be hung on the pitcher.
And a 1-1. Pomerantz did strike out 7 men while he was in the ball game. Got better as the night went along. Wound up 3 2/3, no decision for the lefty. And the 2-1 to Chapman. Foul back.
Here's the wild pitch right here, of course, coming on that spike curveball that Vasquez hasn't caught in a while. Down. Now on a pass ball or wild pitch on strike 3, if no one's on first, you can advance. There you go, see him advancing the first right there. So it does go down as a strikeout, but you get the opportunity to advance on a ball that hits the dirt on strike 3.
So the Sox had to get 4 outs in that first inning, in which 3 runs scored. softly hit, but over the leaping Nunez for a base hit. So Chapman has his first knock of the ball game. He's 1 for 3. I didn't crush it, but he'll take it.
Yeah, just fought through it right there. Good looking kid right there. Plays a great third base. I always say good hitters get jammed. And that's what he did right there. Jammed, fought inside. Just enough to sneak it in right there to get the big, tall, dangerous lefty Olson coming to the plate.
The A's are very excited about their corner men. Chapman's the third baseman. He just got that hit. And Olson up now, the first baseman. He's very good also defensively. They're not as strong up the middle. Not by a long shot. Snap toss down to first.
And Vasquez just keeping him close right there. If he advances on a stolen base, what it's going to do is going to have to take him out of the shift of the defense that they're in right now. Chapman's able to steal second. Devers is going to have to come back to be able to guard third for another stolen base. So Vasquez doing a good job of keeping him close. Granted, Olson did shoot the ball to the left side, which would be a routine ground ball to the shortstop, but with the defensive shift that they're in, he was able to sneak through.
Chapman has not attempted a stolen base this season. He gets his lead at first. Big shift on with Nunez in shallow right field. And he's 0 for 3 in his career trying to steal. Tied up 3-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Come the top of the 6th inning, the Sox will have Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and Hanley Ramirez coming up. And they would be getting their third rips against Kendall Graveman.
And we saw how that went in Anaheim. Boys will continue to get better third time around. You get me once, you get me twice, not going to let it happen 3 times. It would be nice for Mookie to lead the inning off in a tie ball game. Hector can get out of this inning clean.
In there for a strike. 3-0, so 3-1 on Olson. Got the top of the zone.
Top of the zone right here. Majority of the time you don't get this 3-0 if you've been erratic, but Vasquez yanking that ball down, giving the umpire a good look.
Olson with some pop. He's hit 3 home runs. Driven toward the alley, but Jackie on the move, and he'll get to that easily to retire the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Sport Clips Trivia.
Make sure you join the Red Sox on the next West Coast trip in June. with Red Sox Destinations, presented by National Car Rental. To learn more, visit redsox.com/travel. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you here from Oakland in a 3-3 game. Mookie Betts is 0 for 2 tonight against Graveman. He is grounded to second and lined out sharply to third base. Mookie's one of those guys who uses, relatively new in baseball, one of those axe handle bats.
Yeah, funny you bring it up, OB. I actually have a treat for you right here. I was fortunate enough to ask Mookie if I could grab one of his bats and show our viewers exactly the axe handle and the difference. This obviously being the traditional bat, and this being the axe handle bat. And what it's going to do is going to put your hand in a different position. It's going to put your hand in a different position. You can kind of see it up, kind of like that, versus over on this side where it's true. And it's truly just a feel thing, more of just fundamental change or mechanical change. And it's about 3 years old now. A lot of guys are going to it. It's pretty cool.
Now, did you like him?
I personally didn't like him, and I also didn't like going a different way to the ballpark. I was a creature of habit.
I hear a ground ball through for a base hit. Chapman dove and missed it. Mookie with a wide turn, but a leadoff single. At his speed, he's aboard. So Benintendi will stride up there to swing.
Yeah, another look at it right here. I just want everyone to kind of see the difference, because I mean, similar to the wheel, I mean, the bat hasn't really changed in years and years, but this is a new trend right here. And I'd say it's helping out guys a lot for the ones that have broke their hamate bone, which is in their hand. But guys that are handsy hitters and just like that, not having this knob in your hand, and the other thing that this knob for guys that hang their pinky off kind of gets in the way. And this axe handle bat is making some noise in the game right now.
Several
cool.
Red Sox are using it, not just Mookie Betts.
Yeah, absolutely. Hanley's been up there with it. Dustin Pedroia's been up there with it. There's a lot of guys in the big leagues. Now, for your amateur ball player, these are expensive bats now. These are really expensive bats.
So much more expensive than a normal bat?
Yes, yes.
How much?
I'd say a good wood bat is probably going to cost you maybe $120 for a big league wood, and that bat's probably going to cost you about $190.
Wow. Okay. Down to the dirt, stopped by Lucroy. Red Sox with a base runner, not just any base runner. It's Mookie Betts.
So you got to save up your paper route money if you're looking to
yes, sir.
Get yourself an axe bat.
Or get a deal with a bat company.
There you go. Or just make it to the big leagues and get as many as you want for free.
There you go. That's the ultimate. 23,400 here tonight. Benintendi comes up empty on a changeup.
Coming up, and you got him fishing right there on a changeup, but a nice swing from Benny. That bat came through nice. If he was able to throw it a little higher, it looked like Benny was sitting on that pitch. And you see a real aggressive swing. Back knee kind of stayed down. He was probably sitting on that pitch to throw it for a ball.
And Ramirez on deck. With Betts getting his lead. Mookie wearing the red shoes tonight. Not running.
Talk about expensive.
Huh. I like the Reds.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Reds.
Yep. Now on the flip side, the Oakland Athletics, only Major League Baseball team with white cleats, all white.
2-2, and he'll dive back in. Red Sox hit 11 home runs in Anaheim, the third most ever in a 3-game series. Ever.
Ever.
It's 16 against the Yankees in June of '77 and 14 against St. Louis in June of 1950. Goes the other way. That's a beautiful thing, and drops in a base hit. Mookie Betts up to second base, and it's back-to-back hits in front of Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, Benintendi swinging over that changeup, a nice aggressive swing, and you see all 4 pitches so far on the lower half. We talked about in Anaheim. You can't go to the well too many times. Stay down there for the fifth pitch. 2-strike approach. Would it get deep? Shoot it. Get your runners in scoring position. Here we are set up again for that 3-run homer.
How about that plate coverage too? That was not a strike. He took a ball off the outside part of the plate and knocked it the other way. So here comes Hanley Ramirez, a single and a strikeout. Red Sox trying to get on top. Activity in the bullpen now for Oakland down the left field line. They've got a right-hander going. And Hanley gets in against Graveman.
I was talking about Hanley too. The only thing I was concerned about with Hanley is I want him to drive in runs. Worry about nothing else but drive in runs. Got a good feeling about this at bat right here. Benintendi's can get a big lead over at first base. You see Olsen doesn't have to hold him right here. So ball in the gap. You got 2 RBIs. If he wants to get a little greedy and go over the fence, I'm okay with that too.
And missed badly on the cutter.
Hanley sitting right here at 2-0, no outs, in the driver's seat right here. It's probably going to look off speed, tell you the truth. I got going off speed. Look at those numbers right there, runner scoring position. That's driving in runs.
In for a called strike, 2-1. Moreland on deck. Graveman had set down 11 consecutive batters until Mookie Betts singled right through the hole on the left side, and then Benintendi guided a line drive the other way for a single. And now Graveman in trouble for the first time since the 2nd inning.
Yeah, and then the 2nd night in a row. It's not really the sabermetric, but it's these guys really breaking down the statistics more and more. And here it is again, pointing out in front of us of guys coming up for the 3rd time against the same pitcher.
That's a strike. Hanley wasn't thrilled with that call. He thought it missed underneath the knee. Really disappointed.
Yeah, I got it at borderline, and you see Hanley hitting at 470 plus with runners in scoring position. Getting a little upset right there, but I tell you what, tells me he's locked in and he wants that RBI.
Nobody out and 2 on in a tie game in the 6th.
We went 2-0 fastball to get it to 2-1. 2-1 fastball to get it to 2-2. This would be the 3rd straight fastball, which would be pretty rare to do that to Hanley, especially with runner in scoring position. And you obviously see the mix-up right here with Lucroy behind the plate. Probably not sure he should go 3 straight fastballs, but this is the game within the game right here. The chess match, the pitcher, catcher, and hitter.
That one go, and that just missed. Great take there, considering a pitch that was just a little bit higher was a called strike moments ago, and now it goes to 3-2.
This pitch is a little bit lower, but there it is, the 3rd straight fastball. Now 4 straight. I don't know.
Look at this, Red Sox. Look at that OPS when facing a starter for the 3rd time in a game. Over 1,300. Hard ground ball, base hit. Mookie Betts to 3rd. They'll stop him there as the throw comes in and the bases will be loaded. Hanley with his 2nd hit. And he has loaded him up here for Mitch Moreland, who loves hitting in this ballpark.
He sure does. That might be it. And Mitch does have 2 home runs career. And this is another fastball down for the 4th consecutive fastball. You can't go to the well too many times on great hitters. We saw that in Anaheim with JD in the curveball. Didn't drive the run, and you don't want to push it with no outs. But that is a knock with runners in scoring position. Coming in at 470, and that just went up.
So Emilio Pagan will be brought into the ball game. Graveman will depart, and he leaves behind a mess. And Tim Hires and crew will go to work here for Mitch Moreland. Bases are loaded when we come back. Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of the Red Sox in Major League Baseball, and by the all-new Subaru Ascent, featuring all-wheel drive and 3 rows of seats. Love is now bigger than ever this spring. Well, back here by the bay, tied up 3-3 at the moment, but the Red Sox have them all loaded up. Pagan coming out of the bullpen, and Moreland, the batter, is 0 for 2. In a ballpark he is very fond of swinging the bat in. There's a high fly ball right field. Piscotty back, turning around, gone! Grand slam! The Red Sox have done that again. That's the 5th time this season the Red Sox have hit a granny.
And with runners in scoring position, he's going to do 2 things. He's going to run at you or he's going to run from you. And you can't take a strike to figure it out. Mitch Moreland head down, attacking strike 1 to the bleachers. 1 swing, 4 runs. Woo.
Man, is he locked in. Absolutely locked in. So the Boston Red Sox, who lead at 7-3. Holy cow. He is crushing.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any easier with Devers, but I need to take a look at this grand slam right here. That is an off-speed pitch, 0-0, elevated above the belt. No hurry out of the box for Mitch. No hurry. He knows his strengths. He knows his power. All 4 runs scoring right there.
Rafael Devers 1 for 2. Now, as we went to break, is Tim Hires going over Pagan, the new pitcher coming in, both in print and on the iPad. That's likely to be some video as well. There's a shot out to right field, but it'll hang up, and Devers is now 1 for 3.
Yeah, this is a great shot right here. You think it's just see and hit it? Not no more. We got reports on paper. We got video. Jackie Bradley can come in and chime in. Mitch going back and forth. What does he throw 0-0? What are his tendencies? What are his tendencies with runners in scoring position? What has he thrown in jams previous? Mitch Moreland says, thank you, I got it. Watch this.
Now the Red Sox were down 3-0 at one point in this game, but they are never far from a comeback. Moreland with an 8-game hitting streak and just hitting the daylights out of it. It's 8 in a row now with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs in that 8-game hitting streak. Knocked foul out of play by Nunez.
We're getting to go to the depth of this team. In Anaheim, Benintendi had a day off that they covered. Jackie had a day off that they covered. Tonight, JD Martinez has a day off that they've covered. They're giving their everyday guys rest and at the same time continuing to not skip a beat.
Nunez 1 for 2 with a single. Give him another base hit. He lines that toward the gap, and that's going to be boxed around. He's heading for second base. It's dropped by Cano. And so Nunez down to second. Now, we've seen a couple of funny bounces out there as if the baseball has struck a seam, but Jackie Bradley was able to handle one that came his way. Cano could not. It'll be a double.
Yeah, this is it right here. And obviously the Oakland Raiders do play on this field and it can get hairy, but not right now. You see him kind of twist that glove around, elbow high, thumb down, instead of getting around it, and there's no rush right there. It's going to be an automatic double, but he kicks that around one more time, and you're going to get an error. Mooney's can go ahead and take third.
This is the first time, by the way, that the Red Sox have hit this many grand slams before May 1st. They had never hit 4 of them before the 1st of May. They have 5 already. We were waiting around all last season for a Red Sox team with plenty of offensive talent to hit 1 grand slam, and it never happened. And already 5 of them here by the 20th of April. Pretty remarkable.
And here they go, continuing to pour it on. After a grand slam, we've already got a runner in scoring position for Jackie Bradley, who has also gone deep tonight.
Yeah, 3-run homer in the second inning, get the Red Sox in the game. He's 1 for 2.
So those grand slams are 100% in the report. 100% going into the opposing teams, and you obviously never want to try and load them up. But at 5 to this date, you can't do nothing but hold your breath. They can't do it again. Well, turns out.
This has turned into a really powerful ball club. Really dangerous with the home run. Cut on and missed. It didn't really reflect in spring training. It's one of those oddities about spring training because you don't have your full lineup playing every day. The Red Sox have now hit 26 home runs. That's only 1 home run behind the leaders, Colorado and the Angels. And Mitch Moreland just lightened it up for a grand slam. He is hotter than hot right now.
Home run. They got 7 runs on the board in the top of the 6, all coming off the long ball.
Well, a ways to go tonight, but the Red Sox with a victory would be a rather astounding 17-2. With Mr. Sale going tomorrow, Mr. Price on Sunday. And the Red Sox trying for an 8th consecutive win. And this magical season continues. I know it's early, but man, is it fun. A high fly to left field. And Pinder creeping toward the line. He's there. So 2 down. Monday, April 30th is Christian Vazquez Gnome Night at Fenway. The first 10,000 will receive a Vazquez Gnome courtesy of Benjamin Moore. For tickets and more,
Number 7,
visit redsox.com/promos. Christian 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded at first and struck out.
Oakland Athletics are just sick and tired of seeing Mitch Moreland at this point. My goodness, you thought Mike Trout was good? Mitch Moreland.
And this is a big ballpark that a lot of guys don't like to hit it. But for Mitch Moreland, it plays small.
I'll tell you the one thing that you don't get complaints about coming here, and that's seeing the ball. And that's the batter's eye that's in center field. And it's this big, huge green wall that's painted green.
That's a great point. And in day games, you know, when it's sunny and warm and the ball carries, but at night in Northern California, as you know better than I do, the ball doesn't carry. It's not supposed to anyway.
Yeah, it's not supposed to. I mean, you do have to hit it. That ball Jackie hit, that's big boy land up there. You do have a little wind blowing out, but those 2 homers didn't take any wind. Those were true homers.
And Moreland knew it the moment he made contact, that he had destroyed it. So 5 Red Sox grand slams, one of the many numbers that blow you away about the 2018 Red Sox. High chop up the middle, and Semien. Not a good throw, but dug out by Olson to retire the side. But Mitch Moreland keeps on swinging the shillelagh.
That's it. Let's watch it again right there. A spinner slider, turns it around. Woo, souvenir.
Sandwiches for 2, 3, or $5. America runs on Duncan. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Not only the 5th Grand Slam of the season for the Red Sox, for Mitch Moreland, the last 4 games he has played here at the Coliseum in Oakland, he's hit a home run.
And like we talked about, man, this is a big ballpark to do that in. Chris Davis on their side making it look pretty easy, but I tell you what, opposing hitters, I've seen a lot of fly balls to the warning tracks of these guys thinking they got him.
So the Red Sox with a 7-3 lead. Canada lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And then Pinder and Lucroy. Red Sox continue to get great contributions up and down the roster. Showing off very impressive depth, to put it mildly. Red Sox losing to the Rays on opening day, but since they have gone 16-1, trying to run that to 17-1.
You talk about just old news. That's old news. And then Tampa at the time, where'd they go? 9 or 10 in a row without winning after their opening day win.
Yeah, they're no longer in the basement, by the way. Tampa Bay. Baltimore snuck into the basement with a 6-game losing skid, which they ended by knocking off Cleveland today 3-1. Though Tampa Bay won as well. Fly to center field straight away, but Jackie Bradley on the back pedal will make that grab. And Canada's retired, 1 away.
With them in the basement, you got to wonder when the Manny Machado sweepstakes starts.
Yeah, because you really have to wonder about the Orioles getting out of the basement many times.
Yeah, I don't know if he finishes in Baltimore, Manny Machado.
A free agent at the end of the year.
Adam Jones.
Yeah, Adam Jones as well.
Zach Britton.
This Pinder, he has doubled and struck out. To the shortstop, Brock Holt. Loves and gets him. 2 up and 2 down. Tonight, after Red Sox coverage of NESN Sports Today, we have a full recap of the Sox game, plus a preview of Game 5 of the Maple Leafs Bruins.
21.
NESN Sports Today presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. The Celtics lost, however. They lost for the first time in their series against Milwaukee. So that's 2-1. Here's Lucroy. Flied out twice, once to right and once to center.
Lucroy, another victim of a wild free agency this offseason. Pretty decorated player, good catcher, can hit some homers. Was on the market for a long time, ends up signing with the Oakland Athletics in spring. Once spring has started is when he checked in with them.
Josh Lucas, right-hander, warming up for the A's. Bases empty. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox going with big-time power to turn this game around. They were down 3-0, but then Jackie Bradley with a 3-run homer. Mitch Moreland with a grand slam. And the Red Sox are up 4. Game 1 in Oakland.
Now the grand slam, you know, that's obviously the hit that caused the most. But how it was set up, Mookie Betts coming for the 3rd time off the starter, hasn't got a hit, made the adjustment. Benintendi, nice 2-strike knock the other way. Hanley coming up, barking a little bit about that low strike, came back with it, laid off it, and was able to get that knock to get the bases loaded. What went in to Mitch Moreland's at-bat is also pretty impressive.
And Lucroy with a base hit. I thought Hanley's at bat was outstanding. Let's get out of Garrett.
Well, it'd be Hector Velasquez made his major league debut here in Oakland last May, and he said honestly the past year has been a dream come true, and he appreciates every day that he gets to be here. He said when he's in the clubhouse and he looks around at his teammates, they are his idols, and he feels so fortunate that he gets to play in the majors. And guys, I talked to Dana Levangie, and he said he has really stepped up for them, and so far he's been excellent at everything that they've really needed him to do.
Well, the relief corps has been so good. I mean, this is to Garrett's point here, because Velasquez has been a big part of this, but Opponents are just 4 for the last 36 against the Red Sox bullpen.
Yeah, Hector Velasquez coming out of the Mexican League, and another stop that my baseball career took me, along with Japan. I played down in Mexico in winter ball for a long time, so I know the roots down there that he's coming from, and there's some talent down there, but it's tough to play down there.
Travel tough?
It's all bus. It's all bus.
All bus.
Yeah, we had a 24-hour bus ride from Mexicali, Mexico down to Mazatlan.
Holy cow.
Good thing John Gomes had a contract. I took a flight on that one. But if you ask anyone else on the team, it was a 24-hour.
Took advantage of the flight option of your contract.
Yes.
No 24-hour buses for you.
Yeah. I was teammates with Fernando Valenzuela. He
Really?
pitched, yes, on the team.
Where was Fernando in his career at that point? He must have been, I mean, obviously he was done in the big leagues, but
well, this was 2005.
so he was still
pitching, 50
pitching.
plus.
Wow.
So we were the furthest north team, and we played a doubleheader every Sunday.
Fly to right, Mookie on a dead sprint, heading into foul territory. He's not going to get there.
We played a doubleheader on Sunday. It was 2 7-inning games. So he'd start the first game of a doubleheader. So he'd go about 4, maybe 5 innings, but that's equivalent to going 6, 7, 8 innings.
Yeah.
And it was Fernando mania every Sunday.
Could he still pitch a little bit?
Oh, he did great. He did. It was just a clinic pitching. I think every single hitter he faced hit a home run foul. And then you come out and punch him out on that changeup.
He was something in his Dodger days as a kid. When he first came up, he was unhittable. He flipped that head back. Another one fly down the right field line. He'd look up to the heavens and then strike you out. He was magical.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch. You know, just that windup that he had. Once you say, you're like, oh, there it is.
Lucroy on at first base, 2 down. Red Sox ahead 7-3 in the 6th inning. And Velasquez gets him to pop this one to right field. No need for Mookie to run after this one. That's out number 3. Right-hander Josh Lucas will enter the fray here with the Red Sox ahead in the 7th inning, 7-3. Brock Holt to lead things off. Lucas becomes the 3rd pitcher tonight for Bob Melvin and the Oakland A's. Brock's gone 0 for 2. He'll be followed by Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi. It was Betts and Benintendi and then Hanley Ramirez who all singled and then a tie game in the 6th inning to load up the bases for Mitch Moreland, who would within seconds launch a grand slam. Popped into left center, charging on is Canada. That's going to drop down for a base hit, so Brock Holt has a single. Good start for the Red Sox in the 7th. Tomorrow on Dining Playbook, Jenny and Billy are hosting the show right next door to Fenway Park
Number 50,
at the Cask and
Mookie
Flagon.
Betts.
Plus, Jenny takes swimming lessons at Equinox. Catch it all tomorrow morning at 9 on Dining Playbook, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. 5 in a row for Brock and hitting .400. A lot of hitting streaks all of a sudden for the Red Sox.
A lot of everything streaks.
Well, Lucas coming out of the bullpen. He was recalled today from AAA Nashville. Made his major league debut last year with the Cardinals.
In Oakland wearing those unique colored green jerseys tonight. It's really just weird to see a guy with yellow sleeves. Maybe Pittsburgh Pirates have that option, but I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher with yellow visible sleeves.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Good point.
Got on a miss by Betts. Now looking back to that big swing by Mitch Moreland. Crack of the bat, you could hear it too, man. He just killed it. Grand slam.
Yeah, that's smothered right there, what you call it. And if he doesn't get it all right there, you see his approach as a sac fly gets the job done. Worst case scenario is ball on the ground, and you saw that loop from Mitch Moreland, scooped it into the seats.
Ground ball to Semien, to Lowry 1 to first, double play. So Mookie Betts double up, bases empty, 2 down for the Sox in the 7th. So Andrew Benintendi will come up and swing with nobody aboard.
Now batting, number 16, Andrew Benintendi.
On the night, he is 1 for 3 with a single.
As well as the Red Sox offense has been playing. I mean, at this point, historical. And I think they got a shortstop coming back to add fuel to the fire.
Looking better and better every day. A high fly to left field as Pinder will make that catch and retire the side. Coast. You can import the NESN Red Sox schedule on any device. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import it. Presented by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of the Red Sox and Major League Baseball. Red Sox the best in Major League Baseball, 16-2, and now the 4-run lead in a game where they trailed 3-0 but didn't blink.
Didn't blink, came back and put a three spot up in the top of second. Shutdown inning. Came up with a big grand slam. Shutdown inning right after. 7-3 lead.
Piscotty grounds that one at the feet of Devers across the diamond. One man away. The Reds currently sit third in the Premier League standings, but Jurgen Klopp's team is looking to climb to the top of the table. Catch Nesson's encore presentation of Liverpool versus Everton. That is Monday night at 7 on Nesson. Jed Lowry's made some noise tonight. He's gone 3 for 3 against his old club, including an RBI double in the first inning when they took a 3-0 lead. Drew Pomerantz making his return to the Red Sox rotation. No decision for him tonight. He went 3 2/3, 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 7.
Obviously, I'm sure he'd love to gone deeper, but you know, getting a feel for things, it's tough. Missing spring, having your first outing down in the minor leagues in Pawtucket, coming all the way across to the West Coast, coming to Oakland. He is familiar here, but you know, every once in a while when you play at home, you get that feel. It's just how it worked out. But I'll tell you what, you know, this, that, but you can't lose sight of those 7 strikeouts.
Oh, and you can't lose sight of the fact that they got him back tonight. And this is a very important man in the Red Sox rotation. He was so consistent last year. He was a big winner. It's a huge year for him. 17 wins. For the Red Sox to be 16-2 without him and now have him, you can't lose sight of how big that is.
Yeah, that's a winning formula.
Davis on deck. Here's the 2-1. High fly ball down the right field line. He hit it a long way, but he hit it foul.
Jed Lowry is just barreling some balls. He's locked in. Opposite field double down the right field line, hitting right-handed, 2 at bats right, 2nd left. Wow.
22 RBIs, most in the big leagues. Velasquez trying to put him away. Here comes the 2-2. Red Sox leading the major leagues in batting average, leading the majors in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, doubles, extra base hits. That's just a small slice of what the offense is doing. The pitching has been so exceptional. Red Sox starters 12-1, a 1.98 ERA coming in, and according to Elias, it's the club's 2nd lowest ERA by starters through 18 games since 1913.
It's got to catch you off guard, because you really don't think that's possible to be the best offense in the game, the best ERA in the game. Their defense has been outstanding. It's tough to hope for, tough to practice. We're watching it night in and night out.
Night in, night out. And watching the power. The Red Sox have surged almost to the very top of baseball in home runs.
And they're leading, and they continue to pile on, where it's not just a fluke, a hot week, a good series. They're pounding on.
Brian Johnson, a left-hander, getting loose. Red Sox, the #1 fielding team in the American League. There's a gap shot. That's going to keep on bouncing, rolling to the track and the wall. Lowry into second base. He's been really the only fly in the ointment, but he's 4 for 4.
He is 4 for 4, and I'm glad there's only one Jed Lowry over there. Like I said, he's locked in. He laid off 2 pitches to get him to a 3-2 count. That ball didn't get too much play. 3-2, that's a 2-strike swing. Good balance right there. Driving it with good direction from that front hip. Right center gap. Pretty impressive. Another double.
2 doubles, 2 singles. Chris Davis is 0 for 3. Their cleanup hitter, the DH. He has struck out twice and hit into a double play. Red Sox ahead 7-3 in the 7th. Win tonight would be 8 in a row. It would be the Red Sox second 8-game winning streak of the year.
In just the month. Remarkable.
The 20th of April. So Lowry down to second, Chapman on deck. And Velasquez hit him. So Davis gets hit by the pitch, and that'll put him on at first and second here in the 7th inning. And Johnson still warming down the right field line. Bullpens are on the field here in Oakland.
Yeah, again, you got to be, you got when you're going inside, you really got to drive it in on Chris Davis. Obviously, he gets his arms extended with those 90 home runs combined since 2016. So he just ran it in too much. Does have an out right here. Ground ball, double play, ideal situation.
And you got to be careful with Chapman because you can hit it out of the ballpark. He has 5 home runs.
And he does. 3-run home run right here turns it into a 1-run ball game. Keep the ball down, a little bit movement in or out off the middle. Get that double play.
In for strike 1. On the night, 2 strikeouts and a single. It's his jersey night here in Oakland at the Coliseum. That was the giveaway. And they drew just shy of 24,000. They had a free baseball night here earlier in the week that drew about 46,000. No charge for admission.
It's pretty cool.
Very lively atmosphere here for that game, and they won it in a series they swept against the Chicago White Sox. So it's Lowry down to second, Davis on at first. Foul tip to the mid.
Should be it. Olsen coming in, lefty-lefty matchup. We'll see.
So Chapman down on strikes. Here comes the manager, Alex Cora. And he is going to the left-hander. So it'll be Johnson coming on to face Olsen. Nice work done by Velasquez, who's really proved to be a valuable man out of that bullpen, hasn't he?
He's done outstanding. He really has. I mean, by any means, it's just mop-up work right here with the closer coming out so early.
Your attention,
blowing up a 0, warmed up 3 times. Pretty cool. Good job, man. I'm proud of this kid.
7-3 Red Sox. We'll have more in a moment. $6 million. You can download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien with you. Runners at first and second. For Brian Johnson, that's what he inherits. So the left-hander to do battle with the left-hand hitting Matt Olson, who's gone 1 for 3. An RBI single back in the first inning when Oakland took a 3-0 lead.
They came out of the gate, 3 spot in the first.
Sox have done all the scoring since then. And that'll be off the outside on Olson. 2 down here. As you look at the Southpaw's numbers, he's pitched very well. A 2.08 ERA. That includes a start.
There's more great numbers coming out of that bullpen.
Wrapped to right, but into the shift, boxed around by Nunez. He'll have no play. Bases are going to be loaded. And he was out there in shallow right field trying to make a sliding play on it, but could not hold on. And they are going to be all filled up on the base hit by Olson. They will give him a hit.
When you got a lefty pitcher, lefty hitter, and he hits a true line drive like that, believe it or not, sometimes it'll knuckle. Be the Tim Wakefield coming right off the bat. You see Nooney kind of go into defensive mode right there, playing in a great spot right there. If he's able to squeeze it out, and that's it.
Thought he'd make that play.
Sure. Sometimes it's that knuckleball. That ball will be dancing coming off the bat.
So Cora will take out the lefty and go back to the bullpen with Canna coming up, and now it gets pretty darn interesting because the man coming up, Mark Canna, has the ability to tie it. So it'll be Barnes coming on, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Coming in to pitch for Boston, number 32, Matt.
The 2013 Red Sox in game number 19. Red Sox would beat the Oakland A's 9-6. Mike Napoli's grand slam was the decisive hit. Felix Doubront earned his 2nd win of the season. Certainly want to wish Mike Napoli all the best in his recovery from a very serious knee injury. Runners will be at first and second now with Matt Joyce called on to hit against Matt Barnes. Appearance number 8, 4.05 ERA. Has a couple of men on now. Joyce will bat for Canna. Former Tampa Bay Ray hit 25 home runs for the A's last year. And he'll take a strike on a fastball. He will also strike out frequently.
And you'll see the different approach right there. Mitch Moreland just needed 1 pitch for the grand slam. It's a very similar pitch right there. Matt Joyce chose to watch one, puts him in a hole, 0-1.
2 down for the A's. And the 0-1. Left it up. They do appeal. No swing. His 1 career hit off of Matt is a home run. So Bob Melvin brings him in. The bases all loaded up.
Yeah, definitely a power threat. But a big pull guy. He's one of these guys who's been hitting into the shift many times. And you do have three infielders on the right side.
Long set time granted to Joyce. On home plate up Brian Gorman.
Meeting from Vasquez right here. Sometimes it's just going over location. Maybe Barnes thought he called in and he's sitting out, or vice versa. So just going over location. You got bases loaded right here. Tying run at the dish. Bottom 7. You do want to make sure you're on the same page.
I believe that's 4 visits for the Red Sox. So they have 2 remaining. A man at every base. And the 1-1. And he buries the breaking ball. One out, Lowry doubled, and Davis was hit by a pitch. Olsen singled to load him up for the A's. Sox up 7-3. That's a cross for a strike. That's the curveball.
Good pitch. Came back with the curveball. Went to the curveball in the dirt. And you saw the take from Matt Joyce. No sharp take at all. Wasn't really looking for that. Come back with it for a strike. Caught him off guard. Good sequence.
Two and two. They lead at first, second, and third. Stopped by Vasquez. 3-2.
Tried it again and wasn't fishing. Again, good stops by Vasquez. That ball kicks back right there. It's going to create a run. Good stop. You see him cover that 5-hole like you have to call. Knees go down, glove right there off his chest pad, right out front.
You betting fastball here?
He's thrown 2 curveballs and he didn't bite at him. I'd go back with it. I think he has confidence in that curveball.
The 3-2 runners go. And he popped it up, foul back out of play. Indeed, he did come back with the hook.
Yeah, he did go back with it. And now would be a good time to go to the fastball. The curveball is going to slow the bat down, and you can rush that high velocity fastball. Curveball down, fastball, smidge above the belt could lock him up.
Lowry at third, Davis at second, Olsen at first. The loudest here at the old Coliseum that it's been all night. 2 down, and the 3-2 runners on the move. And he got him with the heat at 94 to leave them loaded. Well, about to get the 8th inning underway. The Red Sox with Hanley Ramirez at the bat, and he pops this one up. And Semien, the shortstop, out into left center for the catch. Hanley with 2 hits tonight. Back to that pitch sequence.
Boy, was this a sequence right here. Goes fastball for strike 1. It took Mitch Moreland 1 pitch to clear the bases. Climbs the ladder. Guess what's coming after that? Curveball. Didn't bite. Can I get another one for a strike? Yes, there. Even the count. Give me a chase one. He doesn't do it. Coming back right here. Nice pitch. Nice pitch. Fouls it off. Slow the bat down. Speed it up. Out. Great sequence. A little up-down game. Also, curveball for a strike. Curveball for a ball. Curveball for a ball. Foul it off. Speed the bat down. Woof. Fastball by you.
A big-time effort by Matt Barnes to leave him loaded. Joyce will stay in the game to play center for Oakland. Red Sox on top 7-3 because of what this man did. Mitch Moreland, a grand slam in the 6th inning. A ground into short right field. Quick second out, but the Red Sox with 5 grand slams already by the 20th of April.
The strike 1 that Matt Joyce took, I say they're going to run after you or they're going to run from you, and you can't take strike 1 to determine what they're going to do. You've got to be ready from pitch 1. Mitch Moreland was grand slam. Matt Joyce wasn't. Strikeout.
Here's Rafael Devers. He has a base hit. He's also hit the ball hard 2 other times. A liner to left and 1 to right. Another big night for the Sox in the hit column. They have 10 hits. That seemingly is routine up the middle, but that's where they haven't played. Semien behind the bag, and the Red Sox go 1-2-3. Free text alerts from breaking news to in-game alerts. You'll get it all. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Foul away by Chad Pinder as we get the bottom of the 8th underway. Red Sox 7, Oakland 3. Sox trying to win their 8th in a row. And their 17th out of their first 19 games. Just astounding.
It's a true story. That is a true story. Remarkable. Historical.
They have become the talk of baseball. And the only guys who don't appear all that impressed are the Boston Red Sox.
Eye on the prize. They come to work, grind. I mean, you go into that clubhouse, you'll see beads of sweat on the foreheads, sweat down the chest. You see their ground balls practicing with a purpose. You see their batting practice. It's a well-oiled machine right now.
A little sail. He lost the grip on that all the way to the backstop. Barnes with a terrific job in the 7th inning. Came on with the bases loaded and struck out the pinch hitter Joyce on a fastball on a 3-2 pitch. That ended that. Left him loaded.
As did Hector. He didn't come into a big mess like that, but man, he shut the guys down as well.
An appeal but no swing, says Hunter Wendelstadt. Well, the way the Red Sox have been playing, I mean, just burying opponents early in games, it was rare to see them down 3-0. But not a hint of panic with this team, because earlier in the season they had come from behind many times to win. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He got him, strike 3. So they needed that comeback mode tonight, and they did it again to take the lead.
And I'll tell you the interesting thing, Drew Pomerantz out there, you can tell he was battling, had his back against the wall. And who comes out of the dugout? Alex Cora, the manager of the ball club, comes out. Not his pitching coach. Alex Cora coming out, probably not going to know the truth about what he said, but whatever he did settled him down. And that was a pretty impressive move by Alex Cora, the manager.
Well, you know, I'm sure they'll be asked about it. Both Drew and Alex will be asked about it after the game. It was a fascinating moment. It reminded me of Jim Leland. And Jim Leland would often do this when he did not want the message in any way to be misunderstood by sending out an emissary, to be sending out a pitching coach. When he wanted to communicate it and look the guy in the eye and tell him exactly what he needed the guy to hear, he'd do it himself.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I mean, for him to take control of his ball club this early in the season is going to set the tempo for down the road. He comes out there to talk to Drew. Vasquez is there. Guess who else is there? The whole infield is out there. The whole infield is on the dirt, in the battle with Drew, letting him know we have his back, and also in there to see what Alex Cora has to say.
It seemed like a bit of a light went on there. Pomerantz started to pitch more consistently after that. He wound up going 3 2/3. Again, it was his first appearance of the year. Did have 7 Ks in the book, so he had some good stuff.
It is something to be talked about too, because that's rare. Majority of the time when the manager comes out and doesn't take the pitcher, it's in the 8th inning and he's going for it and he doesn't take the ball from him and it's a standing O and he gets the last out. He came out in the second or third inning, I can't quite remember, but real early.
Yeah, it was that 2nd inning. Yeah, he had walked a man, allowed a base hit. First inning he gave up 3 runs, 3 hits, so he's trying to smooth things out. And whatever Cora said seemed to have the desired effect. Again. To the third baseman to his left, Devers with a spin. He'll sling it on and get him. Very smoothly done there for the 2nd out. Our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Moreland with the grand slam. Jackie Bradley hit a home run. That was huge. That was a 3-run shot to tie it at 3. And Lowry's been big for the A's. Former Red Sox is 4 for 4. With 2 doubles.
Yeah, and there it is right there. 7 runs on the board, all coming off 2 home runs. One being a 3-run by Jackie Bradley Jr., the center fielder. Mitch Moreland grand slam, the Gold Glove first baseman.
Here's Semien, 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. Alex Cora also riding that hot hand of Mitch Moreland's. He's been playing him against lefties and righties, and he has been crushing the baseball.
I mean, it's pretty remarkable for Mitch Moreland to play. Either Hanley or JD is going to have to sit out. So for Mitch Moreland to sit out, the ability to put JD in. Normally when you take your middle of the lineup guy out, you're not going to replace him with a middle of the lineup guy.
Right.
This shows the depth.
JD resting tonight. He'll be back in there for game 2 tomorrow. Foul back by Semien.
Matt Barnes sitting right here, the 0-2 count with 2 strikes. coming into an absolute mess. Bases loaded. Can't walk the guy, can't hit the guy, can't have a pass ball. A lot on his plate. Comes out here for a clean inning and is pounding the zone, throwing strikes with the fastball and the curveball.
And a ground ball to Moreland. He'll flip it to Barnes for the out. Red Sox are 14-0 this season when leading after 8. Which division has better competition, the American League East or the West? And 83% of you are going with the East. Red Sox so far have had their way with both divisions.
So for the voters that went west, I'd imagine they're Astros fans.
Yeah, I would think so.
Due to how the Sox just played against Anaheim, who is in first place.
Astros won again. So they've ripped off 4 consecutive wins. But they actually started tonight in second place.
Yeah.
In the AL West, but they pounded on the White Sox. Up the middle and through for a base hit. So Nunez is on. He's had a good night with the bat. That's his 3rd hit. That leads off the 9th inning.
Yeah, again, you can't go, without talking about it. It seems like we're just talking about home runs because there's so many of them. But when you're talking grand slams and 3 runs, there's some guys getting on with some good at bats, some singles, long at bats, taking their walks when needed.
Well, Joe Kelly warming up in the bullpen. And somebody asked me earlier, if Joe is suspended and begins serving his suspension, when would that happen? Well, he had his hearing today to try and reduce his suspension. Actually had it here at the ballpark at 11 o'clock this morning. Tyler Austin, the Yankee, had his heard yesterday. And so obviously he is not having to serve that suspension yet, any part of it. He's trying to have it reduced.
Yeah, I'd imagine it gets reduced. Possibly, at the end of the day, could get thrown out and you can do an undisclosed fine. And I think 6 games is a little ripe for what happened.
Yep, Austin got 5. But Joe is available. And the Red Sox will not be able to fill that roster spot when he does begin serving, if in fact that happens. Have to play shorthanded through it.
They're shorthanded in the bullpen, the way these starters have been rolling.
Yeah, right.
So
well,
they should be able to cover it.
Tomorrow, Chris Sale in game 2. David Price on Sunday afternoon. Jackie with a 3-run homer tonight. That was in the second inning, and that made the game 3-3. Huge hit to tie it.
The other cool thing about Jackie coming along, and I was obviously here when he got called up, and I remember him really struggling with the fastball. The glove got him out there more than the bat got him out there. And the way he just turned on that fastball right there, and what he's doing by driving the ball. And to be able to drive the ball like that, you have to hit the fastball. He's made leaps and bounds better on hitting the fastball from when he broke in.
His batting average has been creeping up after a slow start, but home runs are starting to come. You know, his 2, and both of them on this West Coast trip so far.
Yeah. When you're on time with that fastball, it makes it so much easier to lay off the off speed for a ball. That's the trick.
Nunez on. Red Sox have 11 hits. This is one of those games that, you know, you start to pore over the numbers this late and you realize that the A's have left 10 men on base. So could have been a very different game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just goes to our pitchers shutting the inning down and not letting it get out of control. The Red Sox, on the other hand, have only left 1 runner on base to this point.
And Lucas fires and leaves it down into the dirt. Red Sox in Oakland for 3. They'll have Monday off. They'll have that off day in Toronto, and then be taking on the Blue Jays on Tuesday of next week. And Jerry Remy will be back at the microphone for that series. 3-2 will not be made. Diving back in safely, Nunez. Glancing at that schedule as the road trip continues. Red Sox will not be home all that long. You see Tampa Bay and Kansas City before the Sox take off on a very long trip. And that'll be ball 4. And so Jackie's on for the second time, first and second here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and that's what's good about Jackie too. When you're a deep power threat like that, they're going to start pitching around you. And when you start taking your walks, then they're going to have to come back to you. And with that swing that he's got going on those fastballs, he's catching up with the fastballs.
Well, if Christian Vasquez can get a base hit here, every member of the Red Sox starting lineup will have at least 1. He's gone 0 for 3 with a couple of groundouts and a strikeout, first and second, and nobody out. This, by the way, the 7th consecutive game for the Red Sox. They have had 10 or more hits. 7 in a row. Been averaging over 8 runs a game over that span.
7 runs for the Red Sox. 7 different Sox touched the plate. Again, pretty impressive. If multiple runs are going to be scored for the A's tonight, it's probably going to be coming all on Jed Lowry. Really the only one consistently getting on. For 7 different guys to score.
And that's a strike. Wendelstedt said he offered at it. So 0-1 on Vasquez.
Not sure really what that was all about. 7-3, top 9. Really a bunt situation.
I wonder if he was going on his own there.
Yeah.
So Nunez at second, Bradley at first. Shot to the left side. Chapman up with it to second. They got 1 and they turn the double play. Nunez will shoot on down to third base, but with 2 away. They'll send up Brock Holt. Still a chance to get that 8th run in.
Now batting, number 12.
I mentioned when the Red Sox are home again, it'll be for a short spell against Tampa Bay and Kansas City before the Red Sox take off again for a really long trip. They go to Texas for 4, New York for 3 against the Yankees, and then on to Toronto again. And they'll spend most of the rest of May at home at Fenway, which should be wonderful with the weather. I'm sure it's going to warm up.
Sure.
I'm sure.
That's going to have to turn around. It's the boys of summer.
So let's get to summer.
I hear you.
So the Red Sox did an incredible job of bearing down and going 8-1 on that homestand. Charging, here's Chapman on the move. He'll throw it. Did he hang on to the bag? He did. And that'll retire the side. For auto, home, and life insurance.
I want another piece of this sequence right here. Fastball, get ahead, strike one. Elevates for a ball. Curveball machine. 4 curveballs right here. In the dirt, didn't chase. Let me get another one. He might be on it. Let's go to something else. Express train for a strike 3, bases loaded. What a sequence.
Yep, and a tremendous effort there coming out of the bullpen. Here comes Joe Kelly now for his 9th appearance of the season, and we'll see how much longer we see Joe in the short term because of his suspension and his hearing today with Major League Baseball in an effort to reduce the 6-game suspension.
Try and put him in the penalty box.
So it'll be Piscotty, Lowry, and Davis here in the 9th inning, with the Sox in command 7-3. Piscotty tonight with a walk. He scored their very first run in the first inning, and since then he's flied to left, lined to short, and grounded to third. And Joe ready to work. With a victory, the 2018 Red Sox would improve to 17-2. And the Sox would win 8 in a row. And a strike at 96.
As hot as they are and just continue to pound and add on and improve, there's going to be a slide. Let it be known there's going to be a slide at some point. But the way they're playing, if they slide, they're still above league average, which is remarkable.
Swing and a miss, tied him up with a curve. Red Sox have scored 7 or more in 11 games, their highest total through 19 games in team history. We keep saying in team history over and over and over.
Right.
The 1-2 ground ball hit routinely to Nunez, so that's out number 1 here in the 9th inning. And I know what you're saying, and logic dictates you're absolutely right that eventually the Red Sox will hit some speed bump at some point. But the way this club is playing, are you really sure? I mean, this is off the charts.
Yeah, and again, I'm just going on majority of the baseball that's played in the history, but this ball club's rewriting the history book. And you know, sometimes you see the starters make a run and the bullpen make a run, but it's a full complete show of a run from everyone, from the bench, getting rest for guys, the starters, the bullpen.
And a manager who can do no wrong.
Oh boy.
He's had the Midas touch. He and his staff. And the Red Sox on top here in Oakland 7-3. And you know, a lot of people were saying, well, wait a minute, wait till they get to Anaheim. Wait till the Red Sox get to Anaheim. I mean, they ran over the Angels and outscored them 27-3. You know, before that, you heard that about the Yankees. Oh, wait till the Yankees. You know,
Sure.
you can beat up on everyone. Wait till the Yankees. I always thought all of that was hollow. That whole logic. You've got to play your schedule. Everyone's got to play your schedule. And you don't apologize for beating the teams you're supposed to beat. Fly ball to center. Jackie Bradley will make that out number 2. So I never bought that. I always thought that was shallow logic.
Yeah, I could agree.
The Red Sox are just blowing by people and are 1 out away from another victory. They're 17th out of 19 games to start the season.
And that's just it, blowing by people. And we do know he's down there, Craig. But the way they've been blowing by people, and Joe Kelly getting the last 3. The last 3 Craig got was just working on stuff.
Yeah.
He hasn't got a save since last Sunday.
Chris Davis, the batter. He struck out twice, hit into a double play, and he's been hit by a pitch. Red Sox tonight with a grand slam from Mitch Moreland, 3-run homer from Jackie Bradley to account for the scoring. That's a strike on Davis, 98 with the fastball.
Yeah, again, just a great victory. It was really cool to see Alex go out there. Really cool to see Drew. Really cool to see the on-field work before Mitch Moreland's at bat. Going over the video, meeting with the coaches, going over the reports. Again, a lot of really awesome stuff to watch.
Well, that's the thing about this ball club. There's so much fun to watch because they put it all together, all phases of the game. And now on the verge of another victory. Looking to stay perfect on this road trip. That is up high for a ball on Davis. This is what you were talking about earlier with Mitch Moreland, Tim Hires, the hitting coach, and Jackie Bradley, and going over preparation there for the next pitcher in.
I mean, that's just a motley crew right there. They mean business.
Andy Barkett helping out there with that iPad as well, the assistant hitting coach. And flared foul. So the count moves to 3-2. Red Sox have outscored their opponents on the West Coast here 34-6.
Oh boy.
And a 3-2 to Davis. Looked like he went. They do appeal. Strike 3. That's the ball game. The Red Sox win again. And this is an absolute blast. The Red Sox now 17-2. Alex Cora and the Red Sox again into the win column. TC, they take game 1 in Oakland.